y'all as the competition. But if you go against me, you the opposition. But if you wanna test to look like you can close the distance, I'ma give it A forever since you're so persistent. With you, I'm just practicing, cause I'm back to back, let's get back to winning. As a matter of fact, I'm not that forgiving, cause you did this to yourself, that's a bad decision. I don't see no one in front of me, you is a ghost, you ain't got a soul. Whoa, always say that they gon' come for me, knowing they won't, they doing the most. Whoa, chasing my, gotta get already, not selling my, you on the, y'all moving, ready to, whoa.
I'm the main event, ain't no back and forth, let's get it. Heartless energy, yeah, better get lost, oh get with it. Ain't nobody in front of me, ain't nobody in front of me, ain't nobody in front of me, ain't nobody in front of me. You can try to prove me wrong and try to give respect, but who we looking for if there was no one left? Ain't nobody in front of me, ain't nobody in front of me, ain't nobody in front of me, ain't nobody in front of me.
This my game won't stop, no, I can't fit in your box, whoa. That's demolish shop, froze, set the scene, no plot, hoes, whoa. Please don't play me, cause when I let the beat sound, you think I'm crazy. But none of you critics gon' faze me, so when I talk like this, don't blame me, I know I'm bad with it, go against a goat, that's bad business. All of y'all are jokes so sad with it, to me you just a ghost, don't get mad with me. Just, it's a my, gotta get, already, not selling my, you on the, y'all moving, ready to, whoa.
I'm the main event, ain't no back and forth, let's get it. Heartless energy, yeah, better get lost, oh get with it. Ain't nobody in front of me, ain't nobody in front of me, ain't nobody in front of me, ain't nobody in front of me. You can try to prove me wrong and try to give respect, but who we looking for if there was no one left? Ain't
like 0 degrees. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in the cage, I'ma let out the hood out the hood out the. Wake up, get out the sheets. We came from one man, forget that piece. You take the west side, take out the east. I'ma put them in the cage, never let out the.
I hear him chat to the noise, move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys, man so tough, but man's keep rapping. Just too sharp with the prize, white girls gotta tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pine, if you wanna touch me, please use caution. So tough, but man's keep rapping. Just too sharp with the prize. White girls gotta tell me I'm awesome, yeah. Hot like fire on the pine. If you wanna touch me, please use caution.
like 0 degrees. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in the cage, I'ma let out the wake up, get out the.
Welcome contestants to the Finals Masters Series. This video will explain the format for the competitive final scene across the North American and European regions. The Finals Masters Series is an open global ecosystem where the best contestants from around the world can compete to prove they are the best of the best. Contestants from both regions will compete in a global circuit across 2 splits. Contestants will compete in 4 open qualifiers, each split to gain circuit points. Each qualifier will host a best of 3 double elimination bracket. The top 8 teams in a competitive split will qualify for the Finals Masters. The Masters will be a 2-day double elimination bracket where the top contestants will fight for a share of a prize pool and direct qualification into the World Championship. All matches will be best of 3, with the grand final being a best of 5. The final 2 teams in the Masters will earn their ticket to Worlds 2024. Across both splits, the top 8 teams with the most points that have not already qualified will be invited to the World Championship. Following the second Masters, 2 last chance qualifiers will be hosted where teams can fight for a chance to gain their entry into Worlds. The top 2 teams from each qualifier will earn their right to fight for a world title. For the Masters Series, we have brought back our map ban system. Teams will pick and ban between 5 maps. Those maps in rotation are Cis Horizon, Las Vegas, Monaco, Seoul, and Skyway Stadium. Alright contestants, it's time to buckle in. We hope to see you earn your stripes.
Hello and welcome to Breakout Esports Split 2 of the Masters of Finals. My name is Rio and I'm here with Jerry and we will be your casters today. Jerry, you want to say hi?
Hi, yeah, thanks for introducing me, Rio. Yeah, so hello everyone, I'm Jerry. I'm new here, that's the deal. So I'm just here to have a blast, really. I really love the finals. I've done lots of casting in the past, but this is my first time casting the finals, first time on Breakout, and it's a pleasure to be here for the start of Split 2. So, Rio, what have we got in store for us?
Today we have 4 teams playing in the winners final and the losers semifinal. And they're really just some of the best teams that we've seen so far. We've got Ape Squad in the winners final with BBB, and in the losers semi-final we have No Name and NTHX with Esports. And if you didn't catch our last split, we're going to have a quick video that will recap everything that happened. So if we want to show that now.
Il reste une équipe entière.
Il reste une équipe entière, c'est les roses. What the... Le coach, le coach.
Wesh.
Rumor has it, I'm a savage. Drop the classic, thinking back. Drop the classic, to establish that the magic, it's automatic. Got a magic.
Maybe help.
Living legend, lethal weapon. Mastermind, never tired. Tell them all. Big dreams, I got big dreams just like baby.
Oh my god, Grandma, you're so good.
Mine here. Medium low. Ça m'a glitch, je suis obligé de fight,
On va tous en haut.
Non.
LRC, Nace on 808 with triple, absolutely crazy.
Faith of a mustard seed can move any mountain.
J'ai raté.
Man.
That's on me. Just give me a second to let them know.
When is fight? Hello?
I'm ahead time, the red kind. I'm a living legend, lethal weapon. Big time.
Il y en a un qui était
Le médium, le médium, le médium.
Le médium, non, faut que
Vas-y, je la rush, je la rush.
Mort.
Nice, le gros.
Oh my god.
Slow res.
Medium one.
Come on, boys. Like, come on, bro.
Drop on this.
Maybe slow, maybe super low.
How do you make it? I need heals.
He's gonna steal. He helps. Maybe help. Oh my god. One step. You safe.
I'm taking height.
Really low.
Hold on.
Fight. 1 HP.
Free defense.
1 HP.
Nice. Run left.
On 3 charge. 1 dead. 1 HP. Dead.
Yeah. Oh. It's sounds like Rio's having a little bit of a tech problem there. But he was just, gushing about how awesome that video was, basically. So looks like he's trying to get back in. But either way, we'll have him back in soon enough. So yeah, that was just a quick recap. Fantastic. Good to have you back, Rio. That was just a recap of the some of the amazing plays from last split, Rio.
Yep, and I was just gushing about my favorite moment that happened last split, was the cash out station that got shot to the moon, and just the reactions from the players there as they're just like, oh my gosh, what just happened? And it was probably one of the best things I've ever seen in the finals. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. That was really well done, some of the top plays that I've seen so far. And I think that we're going to be getting started here shortly with our matches, but before we do, we're going to be going over some stats from last split. So if we want to get those stats on hand, we can show you the pick rate and the bans that happened, the pick rates that happened for each class.
Yeah, so there's an interesting thing going on here. Obviously, there's the elephant in the room, which is that Light down at that 4.64% pick rate during last split Masters. And it was, this is kind of what people expected. The heavy medium meta very, very much in full force at the time. And of course, there is the proviso here, medium with a huge pick rate, but obviously that is sort of inflated by the fact that we have this one heavy rule here in Breakout. And if you're new here, which I am, but I did a little bit of research, we know that heavies are limited as a 1 class per team pick. So like it or lump it, that's how it works here at the moment, and it does influence the way that this pans out. But I'm hoping to see a little bit more Light, and if any recent play in the game, some like World Tour, some that ranked just in general recently is to go by, then we should probably be seeing a little bit more Light in competitive play.
Yeah, I hope we will. Me just playing as a casual player, definitely am seeing more lights in the playfield. So I think that there's a good chance today. I think that they have a lot of utility, a lot of things that they can really do, and in my opinion, it makes for a really well-rounded team. So getting that heavy, medium, light mix in there, I think that you've just got a really nice, solid foundation for a team that can just go to the top, destroy, and be in and out of situations. It's an all-around well-rounded team. So I would love to see more lights, but if we see more medium, heavy, I think that that's also a really good strategy to go with, but it just kind of depends on how your team plays and who is playing on the team. So I'm excited for the matches today because who knows? Last split really surprised us because we did have some light players that came in and just really shocked us all. Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth saying as well that even if we do end up with more HMM, there's going to be a lot more variety within that lineup now, because you just think about the impact that some of the changes that have happened over the course of between Season 2 to Season 3 and how that might affect the top level of play. Maybe there's a slim chance that we see that mesh shield drop off just because of how effective winch claws are at dealing with shields. They go straight through them. It's an interesting kind of balancing choice, that, but one that does definitely shake up the meta. Maybe we don't see that so much with only one heavy in play. If you get two, then maybe you get the mix, but either way, it might have an impact. We'll see if there's anyone that's taken to that. You've also got the KS-23 as a very popular heavy weapon in combination with the winch claw. We could see that pop out. And of course, there's lots of variety within the medium classes. Do you run that hill beam double up? Most likely at this level. We'll see. Here's the map bans though, Rio.
Yeah, and so this is kind of shocking. We're getting rid of Sis Horizon, but let's go through them one-on-one. So they've banned Soul, and Sis Horizon has been banned. I'm a little shocked to see that because Sis Horizons normally are one of our top-picked maps. But hey, it's up to them. And moving on, it looks like they have picked Skyway Stadium, followed by Las Vegas, and followed by probably my favorite map in the list of maps is Monaco. So we have three really good maps. Skyway Stadium will be interesting because of all the variations that we can get, and we'll be able to see kind of just more of diverse gameplay. It's a big map, lots of room to kind of move around. Moving on to Vegas. Vegas is interesting because it has these big open areas that really allow a lot of team play that you need to play tight, or otherwise you get caught out and you really don't have anywhere to run or escape to before you just get gunned down. And then finally moving on to Monaco. Monaco is just, I think, one of the prettiest maps out there. It has just this really nice verticality to it. It has a lot of just, jumping in and out of buildings and a lot of really tight areas. So I think it'll be interesting to see how these two teams play out on these three maps, because they are kind of the bigger maps, the ones that have kind of more variation to them, more modes. It'll be interesting to see what we get, what map type we get for each one of them. And yeah, I'm quite excited. I think that these will be some really fun ones to watch.
I'm especially excited to see Sandstorm on Vegas, because that is just like a different map. It's the most drastic change you get to any sort of map in this pool. And speaking of that pool, you might have noticed no Kyoto at the moment. The players have opted to keep it out of the map pool for this split. We'll see how that changes maybe come Season 3 and we've got, new maps coming in and whether people have adjusted to it or not. But for now, that is the pool. And like you say, Vegas, an interesting choice, and especially not seeing Sis Horizon after how popular it was last season. We have two teams as well to talk about here, Rio, because they're the ones that have picked these maps. No Name and NTHX Esports. What do you make of them?
Wow. What do I make of them? No Name. We have some really big players that I remember from Split 1. Noah X, Vlad, players that really just kind of stick in my mind. I remember watching Noah last split, and he's a great well-rounded player. So I am excited to see him hop up in here and do this again. And then NTHX is also a team that should be familiar to anybody that watched the last split. Just really a lot of these players, Alphonse, Noli, and Carbon should be just some of these really amazing players, and when they're coming up against the No Name team, I think that there's going to be some good clashes going on. Both teams I remember had really good and tight aim, so these players go down in just seconds. So there's going to be a lot of reviving, there's going to be a lot of healing, there's going to be a lot of just I think that one of these reasons that the finals does so well is that it's a team-based sport. So you've got to really work in conjunction with your team, and I think that that's what we're going to see here today.
I certainly hope so. And as we round things up here, it's finally time to stop yapping and start clapping. We've got Skyway Stadium on the docket here. Lovely little intro cinematic here. Beautiful. And a great map to start things off on. Here we go. Straight into the action here. No Name versus NTHX Esports.
Yep, we see both teams kind of started on opposite sides. We see them jumping over. We get the jump pad, and we can start to see them run towards Vault 1. We've got a nice new viewer control, so we do have new views. Last split we were running in watching other teams' streams, but now we actually have caster controls. So we see right now Carbon getting healed, all set up kind of on the buildings. They're shooting for each other, trying to get this chip off damage. We see kind of each team is running around an APS and shield, and we see them jumping over right now. We see No Name pushing in. Rocket goes off. Winch chain. We do see the winch out, which is great to see. First team goes down. I can't tell who that was.
Still one up here, but he seems to be scrambling about, hoping to survive.
No, it looks like we had a team wipe. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. They've got themselves through. Yeah, I think I mistook a health bar there for a player, but it was an APS. So yes. Which team is pink? I think we both just admit here, right? We need to try and work out who's who. Okay, so it's Telco and Noah XTF and Vlad getting their groove on here with the first cash out in place.
Yeah, we see them getting set up and putting that big heavy shield down, which really helps. You see the gateway going up, which is interesting to see. It's a really nice way to get your team moved from point A to point B as we get set up. And this should be a nice push onto the cash out station for B.
Popping through the gateway, oh, but messing it up, and you can see the frustration coming through there. As No Name are probably just sitting here wondering what's taking them so long. But barricaded off, and they're sitting pretty right now, but this is a really tight spot, and you know, this is where the SA 1216 starts to come into its own. They're baiting in that engagement. They want to play in this tight spot. You see the light as well on the side of NTHX. Can they get that opening glitch? That could really turn the tide immediately. But out they come with the jump pad, and the initiation taken by No Name there is almost successful, but NTHX slapping back and now only have the one to chase down, dropping that barricade, gets the revive off, and then they're all back up
look
again.
at that push. What an amazing push. You can just see the damage going down. See them hopping in, all trying to push into this one little area, and there goes Nola going down. We see the healing beam from Electro, healing his team, doing this everything that he can. And I think we're going to let you take over while I try and work out my mic.
Absolutely fine. That was a great reset from No Name there, and a re-engage. Very nice to see. So, yeah, these double defibs, they just cause so much problems, don't they? And NTHX sort of playing with something a little bit new here, rolling with that light, and they are engaging this time from the further side of the map. Sending one in early to sort of scout things out, but it doesn't look like they've got any time to try and deny this cash out. So they're just playing for frags here to deny a bit of time. Light goes in. Alphonse this is with the LH1. Fires a few warning shots, but can't get anything meaningful, and will start to head towards that second vault. See the rest of his team following up here. NTHX getting close again. We've got the KS-23 with the winch. We did speculate that we might see a little bit of this in action today. It's very exciting to see the heavy meta sort of rotate away from just mesh shields all the time. We were seeing sort of more charge and slams as time went on, but winch just gives you so much control over anything. Gives you that free engage. You can even do a little bit of tomfoolery with the cash out. I know me and my stack are pretty fond of that. Shout out to my Americans in chat. I know you're there.
Testing again. Don't know if you can hear me. I think I should be back. Does it sound better?
You're nice and clear on my end, Rio.
All right, sounds good. We'll get back into this. It looks like I missed one cash out, but we are getting another team fight over Vault 2. We see them running over the zip line, hopping into the window. RPG is out from Nola, and we are Noli X, and he's just holding onto that shotgun. Didn't shoot off the RPG just yet. We do see it coming close. Throws the bubble shield down. We see just a lot of damage going on for both teams. Carbonite goes down, healing his team. Oh, there's that winch shield. Gotta love it. Winch pulling it in. and he goes down immediately.
Vlad in a tight spot here, and he is finished off eventually. And that's a pretty clean push there coming through from NTHX. They will secure that box, and now they're just getting in place to move that box as quickly as possible towards the A site. It is the Villa. I don't know what the sort of professional call-outs are for these, so I might come out with a few interesting ones. This to me is a Villa. I don't know.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was interesting that we didn't see a team wipe there. They kind of grabbed the box and the vault, and they just ran away with it. So they're playing a little, more cautiously. At least Vlad and his team are, and we now see them starting to push on. They are going to get the cash out started, and they're running towards it. They've regrouped. They've got their whole team there. We do see one of them, I think Noah, holding on to a red canister. Let's see if he uses that in any way. Looks like he's dropped it. Now he's just healing his team. Vlad is getting in, going for the push, running into vault. Cash out A, and it looks like they're holding it from a distance, or maybe it's hard to tell who has the cash out. Yeah. So Alphonse setting up on the roof, watching his team, trying to get any chip damage they can as the enemy team pushes in.
Interesting use there of the APS. I don't know if that actually caught the RPG or whether the heavy of Vlad spotted that in play before firing, but they have taken it down, that APS, and they now have the high ground, as we all know. It might be over Anakin, but great engage from Carbon. Finds one and almost sends another to the Shadow Realm, but can't quite finish him off. It's Helco, though, on a sliver of HP. Doesn't have much of a hope in hell of finishing off this play. He does get evaporated into coins. And that is a solid hold coming through. They lost the high ground, but they retook it with incredible efficacy.
Yeah, that was a great push. And really just kind of holding it back for his team. He tried everything he could, but I don't think that they're going to respawn in time to be able to get any more pushes. They might have enough time if they just run in and dive onto it, but yeah, they did everything that they could right there.
That they did. And here we go, another engage. This will be the last chance here for NTHX to try and do it in just two. Otherwise we will go for that final cash out. Quick engage, it has to be. Telco goes down quite low, but it's still in the fight. Jumps to re-engage. It's havoc, it's chaos, it's mayhem. And there's an attempt at a stick and steal here, and they may just get away with it. No, do they? Oh, they're sticking it from the window, but it's not enough. And there we have it. We are going all the way to a third cash out.
Yeah, I'm glad that they were able to get in there and give it their best try, but they just weren't able to get it.
Yeah, it was very, very close. There's a little bit of confusion in the chat about who's who. Don't worry, we are also suffering from this confusion. It's as we grow as a game, we will acquire more useful tools, more useful spectator things. My big request, if you're still out there, Oscar, Embark Oscar, I saw you in chat earlier. Give us a kill feed. That'd be really, really handy for us casters to watch. Anyway, we've got a long-range gunfight going on across the Skyway rooftops here. Just some pot shots, nothing really too meaningful as Atelco will scarper with that box. But they have a lot further to go than last time, and they're hoping for the protection of that mesh shield to guide them all their way, all the way to
Electro
D.
too. I don't know if you saw that real quick, but he was just dodging bullets left and right. He was doing kind of a zigzag serpentine pattern, and it did look effective. So maybe something to take notes about because that looked cool as he was running and holding the cash out. It looks like we see Alphonse trying to push in. We're going to see another team fight happen right here on the roof, and a lot of damage is going down. One teammate, two teammate, and I think they're down to just one member, or that might have been a team wipe. There's the last member. So we see Noah holding on and just kind of doing amazing gameplay right now.
That was one of those instances where we see the trade-off that you have when you take the KS-23 against something like the semi-automatic shotty. That gun would have been ideal in the situation that NTHX found themselves in there, just to spam out as much damage as possible. But the KS works very nicely in a 1 versus 1, not so great at dealing with multiple engagements at the same time. They're going for a little bit of a bait here. Alphonse very unlikely to stick this steal, but maybe he will, as the cover is there. Noli providing as much backup as he can, but maybe it was all for naught here, prioritizing the objective over the team play, and very easy retake for for No Name there. So just leaving the one light up on NTHX. Alphonse has to try and regroup with his team now.
Yeah, No Name had a great come in and they stole that perfectly, and it didn't seem like a team wipe. So both teams are kind of pushing off to the side and just regrouping, and we see No Name kind of getting for the setup. They've now come to the roof, which is a smart move, so that they can get any damage they can. And we do see this next team fight happening. We see both bubble shields going down. We saw the winch claw going off, and we see the LH1 just getting Vladimir down and eliminated. And this is a wonderful fight. I think both teams have lost one teammate, and they're just doing everything they can to stay alive. Fighting over this cash out. Oh, got a nice kill.
I've got to admit, I got distracted there because Oscar told me that he wrote down kill feed on his notes, and I'm so happy that he's already made an impact. Down goes the final player of NCHX, and that might be it. Doesn't look like there's too much time left on that, but this is, of course, Quick Cash. The name is in the game. Or something, words to that effect. There may be time for one final last gasp push. I doubt it.
I don't think so.
I think that's just about it. I think that's just about done it.
Yeah, I think that's going to be it, and I think No Name will have secured this first one. Oh, they're coming in for the push.
They're going to try.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough time. They would have to be on it about 5 seconds ago. And that is our first round. No Name takes the first round, and they did an amazing setup. That last steal that they had coming in there was perfect. Well played, well executed. And they were able to bring down NTHX at the right time. And just, it's all about timing. And they did everything that they can, and both teams put up a wonderful fight. And what a great way to get this first round and first match started.
Yeah, very exciting stuff so far, and I'm just glad that we had such a close game to start things off. It's one of those things you really hope you come into something that isn't just a whitewash. We got to see as well immediately my wishes answered. Someone running that KS-23 and the winch claw. So yeah, and we saw a light as well. We got everything in the top four. This isn't just a ranked phenomenon.
Yeah, no, and you're right. That was cool to see the winch claw and the light player in there. And I think that we're going to see more of that winch claw coming out. Occasionally in the last split, we did see a few people running charge and slam, but I think that when you weigh the two, charge and slam versus the winch claw, just having that ability to, from a good distance away to grab somebody, pull them over to you, and before they can escape, just deal so much damage. It's a game changer. It's really cool to see. Fun to see. And I love that the meta is evolving. At every match and every update, we see just things changing, and this is what makes an esports really fun and fresh. So that was cool to see, and I loved what you said earlier too, that it wasn't just a wash. It was just kind of both teams came to fight, they came energized, they were ready, and I love what we saw so far. And I think if it's any indication of the rest of today, we've got a lot of fun games coming forward.
I certainly hope so, and the stakes are pretty high as well. These two teams fighting for just points. In case you're wondering how this system works, you get further in this bracket, you get more points, and points are good. We want points. Points put you further up the leaderboard and make you more likely to qualify for the Masters event at the end of August. So we're going to have 4 of these open qualifiers. We had, a lot of it took place yesterday off stream. We have the first day one is just lots and lots of teams all gathered together, have to play their way through. So we're showing you the top 4 of each of those qualifiers, 2 weeks between each of them as well. So if you are interested in sort of sticking around, give us a follow. Just keep track of Breakout Esports as a whole. There's a lot going on here. This is where the best players gather, and we get to see some of those some of the new entrants in the other side of the bracket, in the upper half of the bracket. But this is the loser semi-final right now, and No Name down 1 map in a best of 3. That means that this could be their last show here, unless they really bring the big guns out.
Yeah, I think both teams know what's on the line here, and I think that this next map, I don't know which way it'll go. Do you remember which one is up next? I think that it might be Vegas. But yeah. Okay. Yeah, and Vegas is always interesting to me because there's no other map that has the big open area like that. Like the streets are nice and wide. Obviously it's mapped and modeled right after the Little Vegas in real life, and so there's these wide open areas so that you can have these crowds of people. So it makes for interesting gameplay and a lot of like traversal happening because we see a lot of jump pads. I don't think we see a lot of zip lines, but I don't know why. I think that jump pads do give you that kind of movement, but it'll be interesting to see kind of what they employ to deal with those little bit of differences in this map compared to the other two.
Yeah, I think it really does depend what your team are happy bringing. We do see the zip lines in teams. I'm thinking of, for instance, Chickpea, the sort of incredible shotgun medium that sort of runs around, basically just maximum mobility with a shotgun, and he'll ferry his team from point A to point B incredibly quickly. Ziplines just do that so well. But when you're looking for an engagement tool, you know, you're a sitting duck on a zipline. Jump pads, you get the height, you make yourself difficult, you can launch the RPG off of it. It's a great tool all around, so we can understand why those are the kind of the mainstay mobility tool for mediums at the moment.
Yeah, and who knows what we'll see. I'd love to see another light in play, and I think that we're going to be hopping into the next map.
Money, Vegas. And then we head to Monaco as well. I'm certain this was a kind of a conscious choice on the minds of the developers. Do we pick a load of locations that are money themed, places that ABBA wants to go, right? You know, that song, money. They sing to Las Vegas or Monaco because, you know, you go gambling there. Are we going to get an Atlantic City map, perhaps?
Maybe. As we're hopping into it, we see both teams spawning in. The vault is kind of in the middle of them, and we see the No Name and NTHX going at it again. I can't tell their lineup. I should have looked, but I think I saw a line in there again.
Yeah, I'm unfamiliar with the rule set. You have to keep the same. You don't have to keep the same loadout and the same operators. You see, this is my siege brain coming through. Contestants. I need to align myself with the lingo here. Anyway, while I'm thinking about that, we've got an engagement going on here. It seems as though they've actually ducked out of it, re-engaging from above with that pad. And it is chaos. It is mental. Carbon taken down. Vlad's taking a big chunk of damage there. And it looks as though he leaves his teammates. Oh, the pink team get the reses off, though. Alphonse having to duck in. He's switched to that SMG for this half. And he does lay out a lot of damage there, but finished off. 1 versus 1 in shoes.
There's a team wipe. Yeah, we do see the light with Alphonse, so we are running with that. And it does look like NTHX was able to get the team wipe. That, like you said earlier, it was a utter just insanity when they jumped up onto the roof. And I do like that they're trying to get that above them, just kind of stay on top, winners on top, basically. And we're able to go right up to cash out A now, and we're going to get this started. I think that we'll get them set up. We do see Noli running the winch claw again. So here we see Electro running in, jumping on the zip line. His team's going to start the push. They're a good distance away. I think it looks like 100 meters away. So by the time they even get to them, the cash out will be pretty far in.
Yeah, they might be a bit bruised and battered on the way as well because they have this low ground advantage they have to overcome, and that's what the jump pad's there to mitigate. Gets them behind that cover, and now it's trench warfare here. Sends down the shield to close the distance, but the barricades are up on the other side, and they finally meet in the middle. Alphonse taking a bit of damage on the other side of things, but look, everyone's still pretty much full health in this engagement, 10 seconds in. That is unusual for the finals, but finally Noah gets in, lands some meaningful damage, but it's not enough. The defib comes through, and it should be sensible here in the 2 versus 1 for the Heavy to go down. There we have it. Very close one there, but NTHX with great cover, and so much. Look at that. Look at the fortress they built themselves.
Yeah, Noah was with a bold play. He just decided to run in there and try and get some kills, and I don't know if that worked out for him because he ended up going down. He got rezzed, but it just kind of wasn't enough to push in and break that barricade. So we see wonderful plays coming in already. NTHX, not in the. I'm sorry, who is? No Name is down right now, and they're gonna have to push in. We see another team fight starting to happen on the roof.
Glitch comes out to deny the shield, and that's a massive glitch. It takes down all of the utility on their side, and an easy wipe coming through. That is the value of the glitch grenade, ladies and gents. A free team wipe and a free cash out off the back of it.
Yeah, that was an amazingly quick team wipe. They did everything that they can, but No Name just wasn't able to break through twice. So great setup, great defense by NTHX, and I'm really kind of impressed with their setup. I think that they might be able to take this map if they are able to hold off and set up that defense like that, because that was impressive.
Very solid stuff from NTHX, and obviously the re-engage on the roof. They want to take them down before pushing for this vault, but they have to be worried about the second glitch grenade. There it goes, doesn't quite connect though. Didn't aim it for the shield itself. You've got to question that decision making there, but of course he has 2 in the pocket. Shots come out, and it looks as though it's still a 3 versus 3 here. Vlad goes down to the heavy of Noli, and that is a massive boon to the side of NTHX as they look to push off the back of it.
Yeah, wow, I'm really impressed with these the defense that NTHX is able to set up, hold, and they keep taking the same fight on the, I don't know, what do you call that, like the roof almost of the middle of the map. It's a really interesting location just because of how domed it is. So really cool to see them set up, throw down the barricade. Both teams with that APS turret to just shut out any RPGs, any nades that come through. Yeah, No Name's gonna have to step it up if they want to take this.
Conga line to B site is happening right now, and we see second vault being ferried over there. High ground advantage here for No Name right now as the cash out is put in. That timer starts. They isolate one and they get that early pick very big there, and it looks like they have the utility, they have the heals to be able to force their way. Just a war of attrition through this point. They will be able to keep themselves up. Doesn't look like they melt through the shield in time, but they can keep chasing him down. Reload comes out. It looks like that door is locked, but Noli loses his last remaining teammate, trying to open himself a route to escape, but his days are numbered.
Yeah, and I love that the shotgun can do that kind of damage to a wall or a floor. And yeah, he was trying to escape, did everything he could. It was smart plays, but he just couldn't get out in time.
Alphonse is coined here to keep themselves up, but they're going to have to wait here as they do get the steal, and they have to regroup realistically before they can go for the push.
Yeah, it's smart that they didn't get the team wipe. I really thought that they did get a team wipe happening, but now we're just seeing the setup and the inevitable push because this cash out's already halfway through. And we see NTHX, we see them holding off, and it does look like No Name is set up on the roof in a nice little area right above the cash out station. So it's going to make the push for NTHX kind of a little bit harder. And Noah is really great on this AK, and what I've been watching so far on him is he's great at knowing when to switch off from healing in the AK. So it's fun to watch him because it's a really high level play of just knowing that perfect timing of healing versus damage.
That is the eternal struggle with the kill beam. Oh, speaking of the struggle, it's going to be pretty difficult now for the retake to come, or for the take to come through in a 2 versus 3. NTHX struggling to put out any meaningful damage there. Almost finishes off one of the mediums, but he's spruced right back up to full health, and now Noli can only pray that he doesn't get taken down in time, but melted at the last moment, and that'll be a solid cash out. Once again, we go to the final third of the round. So this time, NTHX, well, they need to get this to keep themselves in it.
Now, that was really cool play. I don't know if anybody noticed that, but No Name came in, they swarmed as a team, and literally all 3 of them were on the cash out, shooting the last remaining team from last member from NTHX. That was coordination, that was cool, and I think that we're seeing why No Name took this first map, and now it's 1-1, and I think that this next vault will kind of show who has it. I think that No Name might be able to take this.
NTHX playing off for now, looking to guard the approach to both C and D. We'll see which way No Name decide to go. They're scouting out, they have spotted them on the high ground. Some great recoil control there from Metelko. That's the difference maker between these pro players and the rest of us, is being able to maximize the damage output on those AKs on whatever it is you're using. They do look like they've opted for D here, looking to take the low ground as well, go through cover, avoid the overwatch from above. We'll see if NTHX can maneuver themselves to prevent the plant, but no, it looks like it is slotted straight in, and in fact they're slow to react here.
Yeah, I think they're slow because they want to make sure that they have a good approach. Because we see Alphonse just kind of going away from the team. He's doing perfectly what a light should do. He's trying to find an entrance and maybe even go around them. But we do see, yeah, time is ticking down. You know, we see NTHX, they still haven't gone for it. They're holding off.
There's the opening.
And they are on the roof. Nice kill from Alphonse. He's dropping in. And I think that they might be able to get the steal here in just a second.
Threads the needle with that glitch. I don't know if it came good, but they are landing significant damage onto the heavy, and that's the finish and the wipe. And a steal will be coming. It's just a matter of moments now. NTHX looking to keep themselves in it.
And it's still early. There will be enough time for No Name to kind of come back and get into this for at least one more good push. So if they're able to get that entry just like they were able to, I think that there's a chance. But we do see NTHX getting set up on the roof, which is probably the most powerful position to be because they can just peek right in and see directly down to that cash out station. So by the time that No Name respawns, they've got a really heavy, challenge to push in and break this defense because NTHX can hold it.
They were expecting them to be on the roof with that jump engagement, but they are further afield now playing from height, and I think they might just go for the shield steal, the dome steal here, baiting in the engagement. No, they're not going to stick it just yet. They want them to come in for it, but the dome is there, and it is winched out of position. Is that what happened?
Wow.
I'm not sure,
Yes, I
but
think
either
so.
way, that's completely demolished the playmaking ability of No Name, and NTHX looks set to try and defend this just off time alone.
Yeah, No Name is doing everything they can. We just see people going down one after another, getting the res immediately. It is utter chaos with Alphonse being the last member on NTHX, doing everything he can, bringing down that shield, but it's not enough. No, they were able to steal it. No Name took it.
The steal stuck through all of that, and No Name eliminating NTHX in this qualifier.
Wow, that was really amazing to see. Kind of shocking, honestly. I thought that NTHX was going to be able to come back and get, the steal, get the hold, because they were able to get the second cash out, and I think that showed, like, okay, this is our strength, this is our power. But No Name, wow. I think that Noah had an amazing performance, and I think Vlad, and just some of the No Name kind of showed up and gave themselves a name.
Yeah, great one. Yeah, they absolutely did. And well, they've put themselves through into the losers final, so they are guaranteeing themselves at least a third place finish now, maybe even a second if they can win that match. But unfortunately, that is the end of the road for NTHX Esport. A great showing, though, with a fourth place finish. That gives them a decent number of points. There is a slight change, interestingly, for those of you that followed Split 1, a redistribution of points in these qualifiers. We saw that it was perhaps likely that teams would take single qualifiers and get that top spot and then not have to compete again because they got 100, and it was enough for them to just wait it out and rejoin, 2 months later virtually in the Masters event. We've now squashed that points distribution, so first place is only worth 75, meaning that if you win a single qualifier, you still probably have to play another one just to secure that spot. But of course, we'll see how it plays out. Last time 100 was enough to get you in the top 8, maybe 75 will be enough to put you in the top 8 now. Either way, fourth place gets them a decent number of points, but third place even more, second place even more, and then first 75, and that is what hopefully the other two teams will be gunning for here. Ape Squad and BBB is next up in the winners final.
Yeah, I think that when the winners final, so we saw just amazing gameplay just happening with No Name and NTHX, but now we're going to see the teams that are technically better. And so if you really enjoyed the last game, I think that this next round coming up will be just absolutely impressive. So we're going to throw to a quick break, and when we come back, it'll be Ape Squad versus BBB. Stay tuned. I'll be right back.
Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Day we hustle, but the night we know that they ride or die. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Day we hustle, but the night we boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. My name came up a lot, it sounds more when I was not around. Certain people that I know, they ain't no longer about. My name came up a lot, it sounds more when I was not around. Certain people that I know, they ain't no longer about. My name came up a lot, it sounds more when I was not around. Certain people that I know, they ain't no longer about. My name came up a lot, it sounds more when I was not around. Certain people that I know, they ain't no longer about. boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. We hustle, but the night we know that they ride or die. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. We hustle, but know that they ride or die. Cold, these brothers my guys. Know that they fly. Know that they fly. Know that they ride or die. Cold, these brothers my guys. Know that they fly. Know that they fly. Know that they ride or die. CJ Ike, they ain't no longer about. They ain't no longer about. They ain't no longer about. CJ Ike, they ain't no longer about. We outside. Yeah, we out. Yeah, we out. Looking at the view from the top. Get into the bed, don't stop. Get into the bed, don't stop. Better catch up, cuz we out. Look, I ain't skating through unless they talking 8 figures. Said I dream too big, but I do it way bigger. I'm the boss when I walk through, straighten up and sit up. I ain't never had to tell them, but they know that I'm that. Finish that. So many wins, I had to go ahead and bring it back. I like you, my sons, go ahead and get the Similac. Guess word when I'm pulling in. I ain't asking for the spot, I tell them better give me that. Taking no losses, can't start now. You know it's about to go up when I touch down. And if they didn't know before, they gonna know now. That I leave a murder scene when I come round. In other words, you know that we about to kill it. I ain't for the talking, I said it, you know I did it. Putting on the show, the world is about to feel it. I know they getting scared when I tell them that. We outside. Yeah, we outside. If I got a game, I'm gon' bet on myself. Got it on my own, never needed your help. When you see me at the top, know I did it myself. You know we outside till the lights come on. About to make it to the top, it won't take us long. You know I'm blacking out, but I'm in my zone. They take beat money when they call my phone. Whoa, don't need your money, just give me respect. Told you before this, you know I'm a threat. I ain't letting up, I got my foot on their neck. Yeah. In other words, you know that we about to kill it. I ain't for the talking, I said it, you know I did it. Putting on the show, the world is about to feel it. I know they getting scared when I tell them that. We outside. Yeah, we out. Yeah, we out. Looking at the
And welcome back. We are in for more matches, this time coming up for Ape Squad and BBB. Do you have any thoughts on these two teams?
Oh, it only took one map for me to mute myself in VMix. Hello, everybody. Sorry. I was just saying how I think that the teams will do well at the video game. That was my response. It was very witty. You'll have to take my word for it. I was talking about Belize as well. BBB have Belize on their side, and this is a new entry to our tournament for Split 2. And look how far they've come. They've been almost flawless here. went 3-0 yesterday in the first day of qualifiers, and Crust, Mauser, Belize, the players on that team. Watched a bit of their qualifying yesterday on stream. Mauser is a machine. Keep an eye out for this guy with the Model 1887. He is terrifying, and we all know Belize. If you've watched his streams, he's a very, very talented player. I didn't see any Goose spaceships though. Bit disappointed about that.
Yeah, and I think you fairly hit it on the nail on the head with these players. I think getting to see Belize in a tournament like this is really fun, and it's exciting. He's been in the top 50 of players, I think, first 2 seasons. I'm not sure where he is right now, but it's definitely somebody to keep your eye on. And I think that it makes it all the more exciting for Ape Squad, who, in my opinion, I don't really know these people yet, but they have shown themselves as being, one of these top teams already. So going up against some of the top tier players, we're going to have to see if they're able to pull it off. And honestly, if Ape Squad can pull this off and come out with a win, I think that we're really in for something exciting.
Yeah, and those players on Ape Squad we're expecting to see today: Sonseo, Spoons, and Num. I was caught a little bit off guard there because Rippy is also on their roster list, but I believe he is possibly being subbed out for today. So we'll see who ends up in the lobby. It might be Rippy, it might not be. Either way, here is the ban phase for you right now, and we are going to see a bit of variety. Cis Horizon second up and Solar Decider, but Skyway Stadium once again the opener. Ape Squad's pick.
Yeah. And running in after that, Skyway, Cis Horizon, always kind of, in my opinion, it's one that you should always pick. It's interesting because there is no map variation to it. So with all these other maps, Skyway Stadium, we have the high rise, which is in the center, up, down, left, right. A lot of variation. Same thing with Seoul. But in Cis Horizon, it's very much the same map every time. So,
how have I never noticed that? What the hell?
Yeah.
I've played this so much and I've never noticed there's no modifiers on Cis Horizon. That's crazy.
Yeah. So if you're a team, it makes a lot of sense to pick that map because you know what you're going to get every time. Now, I think it's kind of fun to see different map variations and all different modes, but it does make sense from just a real strategic point of view that, like, hey, we want to have a good experience. We know what to expect, and I think it's cool to see that there is one map that doesn't have that. Now, I have heard through the grapevine that they are working on variations of that map, so we will hopefully see some Cis Horizon variation at some point, but for now, I think that it makes sense to pick it every time. And finally, the Decider map will be on Seoul, which is really kind of fun, in my opinion, because there's that verticality that you don't see in other maps. When you have that hospital area that's so high up in the air, you have a lot of places that just to aim down, get a lot of chip-off damage, get just things that you don't see in other maps. And usually it's why it's banned, because they have these really interesting cash-out stations that are like locked away inside the hospital that make it so hard to push in. Yeah, I just think real interesting map picks, and we're not seeing Vegas, we're not seeing Monaco, probably 2 of my favorite just from the aesthetics and kind of what can happen, what can be done on them. So these 3 upcoming maps should be a lot of fun.
That's if we get 3. We just had a nice swift 2-0 from No Name, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, both these teams, I mean, we were paying respect to BBB earlier, we have to pay respect to Ape Squad as well. They've also gone flawless in day 1, and someone has to lose here for the first time in the qualifier. But either way, both teams have secured themselves a top 3 finish. So maximum of 75 points, and I've got the numbers right now to hand this time around. 75 points for first, 60 for second, 45 for third, and 36 points is what NTHX have just managed to secure themselves with that unfortunate loss. So yeah, I don't think it's, I think it's a little bit too early to make any predictions. We haven't seen these players, all of them at least, in action today, or at all. So there's only really one way to find out what's going to happen, and that's to get in the game and see what happens in the server.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think that we're going to be seeing some really good top tier players. I think that we know the names of the BBB squad, but I think that if they've made it this far and they are 3-0, Ape Squad has a chance of us getting to know some of these players. So who knows? We might be seeing Nub might be a name that we come to talk about a lot. And I don't know what their playstyle is. Like, I don't know if, like, in this last match we did see a light player in there. Are we going to see just heavy, medium? Are we going to see some variation? Are we going to see the winch claw? Are we going to see charge and slam? Are we going to see, what are we going to see? There's just so many options to choose from now. And it's cool to see the meta kind of being defined here as well. So we're seeing top tier players and seeing what they choose, and it does have a ripple effect. We start seeing teams in casual play that start picking up some of these team layouts, and I think that that's what's cool. We get to see all types of gameplay, all types of styles, and really see where the finals shines in that just kind of immense variability of everything and all the different factors here in play.
Yeah, and I can tell you a tiny bit about Mauser, Belize, and Cross team. They were running HMM yesterday. That's okay. Basically it. Belize on his sort of beloved SA. I've forgotten the string of numbers that comes after SA. Semi-automatic shotgun is what it is for the heavy, which he loves to rock. But yeah, Mauser was running basically what the chickpea loadout I want to call it. Jumping around with the 1887, and then Cross I think was backing up with an AK. So that's what I'm expecting to see from BBB. Ape Squad, no clue. If any of these guys stream, if you're in chat, let us know. Drop a comment and we'll go and follow you. It'd be really good to follow your route through not just this qualifier but through the next one as well. So do be vocal in the community, make a name for yourself. That's what this is about. You got to break out.
Perfect way to put it. And I think that we're just waiting. Everybody should be in the lobby, so we will be able to hop into this map soon. And do you remember which one was the first map that they chose?
Skyway. I'm writing stuff down now. I'm not going to forget team players' names and stuff like that. I'm getting better at this. Don't you worry.
Perfect. Yeah, so Skyway. I love Skyway. I think it was the first map that I played on and was really kind of got the idea of the game and how it was meant to be played. Do you want to talk a little bit about what your thoughts on Skyway and what we might see?
I can talk a little bit about Skyway if you really want me to. We didn't see any high rise last time around, did we? It was entirely standard Skyway, wasn't it? We didn't see moving up, down, left, right. We didn't see high rise. So I'd like to see a variation. I'd like to see that that RNG just hit us with a nice little surprise here. That's my wish for this next map. Good gameplay and a modifier. Fingers crossed. That's it.
Yeah. I think my favorite modifier is definitely high rise because it just puts the whole center of the map up in the air, which I think is just such a cool way of envisioning a map and a map style because it just takes everything and just elevates it.
This is the point where I really wish I had like a comically large like a chair that just like when you raise it, it just goes up.
High rise.
And so I could high rise out of here and not have to cast.
Barber chair.
I want to stick around. Don't worry. Yeah. It's a good map, that.
And it is. It's a good one. And I think that we're just, waiting for them to get started. So as we just kind of wait.
I hear good noises. We can hear cool noises. Maybe you can hear that at home. I'm not too sure. The noises of a lobby starting. Yes, I love the sound design in this game. Sound design in this game is just so satisfying. People bursting into coins, all the little clicks and beeps and boops and stuff, and the gun sounds. It's just next time you play, this is my little bit of granddadding here right now. As an old 29-year-old man who can't track people, who can't flick to people's heads and play, and is very sad that the CL40 got nerfed. Next time you go into game, just take a moment to appreciate every click you make, every shot you take, the sound design. All right, and I'm saying it's the granddad in me. It's actually the music person in me, really, that's saying all this stuff. But yeah, I just love a good sound. Here we are.
Okay, so it does look like we have two teams of medium heavy. Not unexpected, but we are hopping into this with Ape Squad and BBB.
Here we go. So Sonsoyo. Actually, I didn't catch the names. I don't want to list the names until we see them. But BBB is definitely Crust, Mauser, and Belize. Ape Squad, some combination of Sonsoyo, Spoons, Rippy, and Number, with one of those watching on from the sidelines.
Yeah. So they do have a sub today, but we will see.
Like Rippy is in Sonsoyo, and who's that? It's too blurry. I can't tell. Look like Spoons. It is Spoons.
Yeah,
there we
Spoons. Go. Perfect. Okay.
So hello to Num if you're watching.
Yeah, and interesting that they're set up and they're getting a really long-range fighting already. Vault 1 is down below, so we do have high-rise happening here.
Yay!
So the middle of the map is raised. We see this first push onto the building top, rooftop, and they are just going down. It looks like Mao's went down. Belize is half health. Crust is really low, just struggling to stay on there, but he is pushing in. Belize is just running into those teams, holding that shotgun, trying to push it off. We see the red barrel going down. Crust goes down as well. And it does look like, yeah, just Belize is left. And we see Sonyo and Spoons and his team just holding off. They have the vault open, and I think that since they got the enemy team down, we have a wipe, and they've got a few seconds to set up, and they should be able to get this started. I bet you that they go B. I'm not sure. I can't really tell where the cash outs are yet, but I think B will be closer.
They're definitely not here, so they have to get away from here with that box. Looks like one is on the high rise potentially. Still can't tell. We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So one is on the high rise in this close building here, and then B. I don't think they're going to bother going all the way to B unless they really want to avoid this fight. And it looks as though the engagement is going to come through from BBB. They're getting up on the building, taking these shots from range. That red canister doesn't quite meet its mark, unfortunately. It's also holding the dome for the moment. Finally lets it drop as the engagement comes. The jump pad across. And now, oh, he drops through the middle. Was that intentional? We will have to see.
I don't think so.
Rippy caught with his pants down there. And it looks like BBB have done this wonderfully. They only have the heavy of Sonsoyo to chase down. Surely just a matter of time.
Yeah, I don't think Sonyo will get away. He's running. He's still getting damaged. And there is a fight happening between the two of them. Sonyo's just running. I think he's just trying to buy out the time. One more second he has to do. Now Spoons can spawn back in. And Rippy as well. So he might have bought his team just enough time, but he knows that they're still going to be hunted. Interestingly enough, no vault has been entered into the cash out station. So they're just kind of holding off. And we're probably going to have to see a team wipe before anything gets started.
Yeah, BBB looking to try and make sure they secure that team wipe. Couldn't finish off Sonsoyo, and I did say his days were numbered, but looked like they weren't. So just waiting here now for that angled jump pad. Of course, really, right now, Ape Squad are in a little bit of an advantageous position, having these angled roofs to work with to be able to initiate onto BBB like this, which is why BBB are setting themselves back in cover. They don't have that option to jump forward quite as easily. Looks like he's going to take the long shot to try and get it into A, but he misses! That could cost them valuable seconds later on, but for the time being, we turn our attention to the fight. Actually, it looks as though no, one of the mediums is dropping down to try and deliver that care package, as it's just a Mexican standoff. No one wants to take this fight.
Yeah, it's interesting that they are splitting up. I don't know if that's what I would do, but they are making a run for cash out A. They are in the building over, so they're going to have to either blow up a wall or do something to get into the next building. And we see now Ape Squad kind of coming in. They're setting up on the roof right above them, and I think that they're going to be ready for when this cash goes into the Vault A. If I were BBB, I would just take the money and run, try and get the Vault B. But no, here we see the fight going down. And we see Ape, or I'm sorry, who's that? Rippy goes down. Sonya's holding off. They throw the dome shield, but they are just getting chipped away. Spoons has full health, so he might need to charge in there and kind of get the vault. Still, he does go for the res, so we have the whole team up. Rippy going low. Sonya going low as well. Spoons doing everything he can. Gets a nice kill on Belize.
Wow, I'm surprised that Ape Squad are the ones that came out on top in that engagement. But they have done, and we can finally get the cash out going. Or are they going to take it to B? Who knows? No, they're holding it. They're holding it for a moment, just looking to abuse the spawns. And there we go.
So if you don't know, by holding it right until they spawn, if they would have started it when they had spawned, before they had spawned, basically they would have spawned closer. So
now,
by holding it for just a couple seconds.
I swear that they patched that out like ages ago, but it didn't actually make as much of a difference as it should have. I think it still has an effect. So that's why people do it. You know, they wouldn't still do that if it did nothing. But it did. It used to be far more effective than it is now.
And wow, we see, I think a rocket just went off, and we see that BBB, they dropped it, and they might get the steal. Belize is just holding it, and he does get the steal. Amazing. And now they're forcing Ape Squad to push in.
Smart though, this gives them a position of power, and they are falling through this building. Of course, no DMAT or anything. They're relying solely on the RPG for this destruction. It's brought down yet another floor here, and they want to fight indoors. This is where they feel most comfortable, perhaps with Belize on that heavy.
We do have low gravity going on.
Oh yeah, that means that the engagement to drop down is really exposing. So playing on the floor is actually a pretty nice play here.
We see the next team fight getting started. Lots of damage, and that's the fun thing about low gravity, is it just shoots them up. I did see one person goes down. There's another one.
Just a sitting duck in midair when you like that. The heavy on 1 HP, he's got to play with his shield.
Yeah,
He
he couldn't
finally
hold it.
burst into coins, and it's only Rippy left alive. Looks like Belize is going to get the better of him. The jump pad sends him into outer space yet again. Belize is chasing him. And
Look
he
at
wins
that
the
mid-air
fight.
combat. That was fun to watch, and I think that really BBB just did everything proper in this fight. Belize jumping in there immediately and getting that cash out steal before Ape was even able to do anything. And Ape was in a great position. They were on top of the roof. They had the right line of sight, but immediately the floor got blown up, and then they couldn't see. And it gave Belize just that perfect amount of time to steal it, and then they were able to set up and hold it. Amazing gameplay. I think Ape needs to kind of step it up just a little bit.
They do. Very delayed cash out as well. That was only the first cash out, and we're well into this match. The time it took, the delay before finding ourselves in there. We finally have a moment to take a look at the scoreboard and see that Soncio and Belize, the heavies, leading the charge with frags, but everyone contributing so far in this contest.
Yeah, you can see Rippy has 4 assists, so he's definitely been in there. I'm sure that he's been switching over more to Healing Beam, yeah, and you can see that he's got a nice support score. Crust has an amazing support score right now. Nearly 5,000 points, and it's still going up, so he's doing a lot. And if we can kind of get rid of the scoreboard, because it looks like there's another fight happening right now.
Yeah, the clue is the number is going up.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's having to heal. And it is just a bit of long range, you know, tap firing. They're really keen to get these opening engagements at range. They don't want to engage until they've found an opening, until they've already committed someone to, you know, switching to that heal beam for half a second to give them an advantage in the fight. But at the moment, both teams playing so passive that they're not giving anything away.
Yeah, it's almost like the first team to make a mistake at that point, because there is just such long damage.
Oh!
Over there goes Rippy, goes down. A lot of fighting happening right here in this tiny little corner. And it looks like Belize and BBB is able to just kind of hold it off. Maserati holding it off really well with that shotgun.
Great team effort. I was glad we got to see that from Maserati's perspective, though. We finally get to see that 1887 in action. Are you familiar with the world of Rainbow Six Siege at all?
Very little.
Very faintly.
Feel free.
I know our observer and producer for the day, Stars, as a, you know, he's dabbled in it. He's more than dabbled in it. He's played comp, but either way, this is a bit of a Rainbow Six Siege deep cut. The 1887 reminds me of the Sniper 90. If you ever played Siege back in the day, there was a Super 90 shotgun that could just chunk people from across the map. That's what it feels like with this gun sometimes. It does a lot of damage even at range.
Yeah, I swear every time I try and use the shotgun, I do terrible, but everybody
same.
that I go against that uses it is just able to absolutely delete me. So it is definitely a high-skill gun to use. We see Cash Out C getting started. It does look like BBB is the one to charge. We see Belize and Maserati and Crust just set up. They are right below the Cash Out, so if it does drop, they'll be right on top of it.
That is definitely an option. Got that APS for protection as per usual. Belize wants them to engage, of course, knowing as earlier that he's got this shotgun. He wants them at close range to really spam out the damage. They already take down one, and that's a big pick. Leaving only Rippy and I believe Spoons up here, so losing that heavy. He can maybe try and get this cheeky defib, but to be honest, with the quick cash timer, you might as well wait for the coin. Just re-engage here more safely, and that is what they opt to do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's smart play, just running away. And on the other side of things, for BBB, I love what they're doing right now. They're doing this movement where you jump in between the windows, and it's not easy to do, but it looks so smooth and flawless from what they're doing. And it does allow them just kind of get that traversal up to where they need to be and in a safe location so they can jump in and out. And now we see the next fight going down. We see Sonio running in, Rippy, and they're on the roof. We see gas has gone off on the cash out station, which is going to make it so much harder for the steal to come in. Belize goes down. Crust is low health, but he's getting killed by Maserati, and they're just down to 2. I think it's a 2v2 right now. And there goes Belize coming back. A lot of fighting happening on these stairs.
Excellent high value medium play there from both Mouse and the other guy. Crust! There we go. He's the one. Why is he the one person I haven't written down? That's so bad of me. Crust and Mouse both contributing in brilliant form there. But he's going down early on. You really thought that wasn't going to be their round, but in fact, still at the end there, good enough to find themselves a 2-0 victory.
Yeah, that res coming in for BBB was perfectly timed because they were able to kind of get back and get domination going. Yeah, so that's a first round for BBB. I am thoroughly impressed. I think Ape Squad had some amazing strategies going in there, but at the end, I think just going up against Belize, Crust, and Mouse, they're just some of the top tier players for a reason. Definitely made it hard, an uphill battle for Ape.
Yes, and even more so because of the fact that, well, they lost that essentially 2 cash outs to none, and that was their map pick. They chose Skyway, and now they're up against BBB's pick of Sis Horizon. Now, granted, small map pool, everyone should be proficient at all of these maps at this point, but when you've just been wiped completely on your own map choice, doesn't bode well. So, I'd say the odds are with BBB right now.
I have a good feeling as well. But we did see some great plays from Ape Squad. It seemed like they had it in the beginning because they did have the first cash out, and they were able to get it. There was that long-range team fight that was happening on the buildings before they even got into Vault A going and started. And I thought that they had the advantage there because they were able to get BBB down. But as we saw, BBB respawn and Belize just hopped in there. They were able to get it. And I think that where BBB is shining is their defense. They were able to really just play it smart, set up in a nice area, and then have the Ape Squad push in and just do everything that they can to just hold a nice tight defense.
Yeah, they were very clean, and they played to their strengths, right? They made sure that they got indoors, they got underneath, they really used that low gravity as well to their advantage, just allowing their opponents to hit those jump pads, knowing that they'd be pretty easy to just clay pigeon out the air, and playing on the ground as well, forcing the engagement towards them. Just excellent display of map control and situational awareness. And that quite often is what differentiates the very top players from the just below the top players. It's not the aim. Everyone's an absolute whiz with whatever it is they're holding. But this is an objective-based game, and a very punishing one at that. If you make a misstep, then you can be out for certain, and teams can leverage that against you very, very nicely. That is what BBB have done today so far. We'll see how it works on Sis Horizon, which is up next.
Yeah. And before we switch over to that map, I think I want to point out I saw 2 moments in that last map that were probably my favorite things that I've seen so far today. We saw when Sonio was running away and trying to just make that distance, and he was being hunted down by Belize, and he was able to, buy just enough time for his teammates to coin in, and I thought that was just really smart and really cool gameplay. And then the second part was more just kind of entertaining when low gravity hit and the jump pads were going on, and we saw the team fight happening in midair. I think that was just cool to watch, cool to see, and you could see their health going down, and it really came close to see. I think it was heavy versus medium, and heavy eventually got down, and just fun to see, just because they were literally up in the sky, top of their arch, in the jump, and just fun little variations on what's happening in this game. Yeah,
it's really cool to see. It's also somewhat reassuring to me as a lowly, I don't know, I haven't checked my rank in a long time. I haven't played rank this season. Take from that what you will. But either way, it's nice to see these players that are amazing. They do mess up, and they are human. And a lot of the plays we're seeing are plays that you get to make in your games. It's all attainable. It's all doable just within our practice. So yeah, it's reassuring at the very least to know they're human. But let's talk a little bit about Sis Horizon, shall we? Because it's a very different map from Skyway. We saw a lot of indoor play from Belize in particular, trying to make sure that SA worked to his advantage. A little bit harder to leverage that sort of loadout, I would say, in Sis Horizon, being a lot more open. Do you think we'll see him switch?
I think that he does switch from time to time, but I think that this map also does lend itself to a shotgun gameplay because there is more wide open areas, but a lot of the cash outs are kind of in more concentrated areas. I can think of a couple that are a little more open, but I wonder if we'll see the shield or maybe the winch claw coming out, because this might be a good map to get the winch claw, so that you're able to move the cash out, or just be able to see kind of grab a team, grab a member and pull them in and just utterly destroy them. So who knows? I think we just heard the map starting up, so we're going to be hopping into it in just a second, and it'll be interesting, like you said, to see if there's any variation on what we just saw.
Yeah, something that we won't see, though, of course, as we mentioned earlier, is a map variation. We got high rise in that one, but we won't be seeing any map variation in Sis Horizon because there aren't any. So we'll see how it sort of maps itself out for us. Of course, like you say, the ability to kind of sculpt the environment as well will also play into the fact that you could build a situation from an unfavorable cash out that actually works for you. Particularly, this is one of my favorite tips at the moment. And you're going to get this one for free, guys. Is that you can use a anti-grav cube and the hook to pull the objective a lot further than you would be able to usually. It just gives it a lot more momentum with that initial pull. Instead of like dragging it along the floor. Works incredibly well to reposition that. And I can give a few points on this map that would really benefit a team running a shotgun.
Wow, yeah, great tip. I literally will try that probably later today.
That's $26.
But
I lied.
As we hop into it, we see the nice, pretty map of Sis Horizon and both teams going for Vault 1. They are immediately going into a team fight, so they must have spawned really close to each other. And it does look like Maserati is running that shotgun. I think that Belize is still running the shotgun as well. So this is perfect, and we see them popping in and out, just getting chip away damage, but they are close. I think a mine or C4 just went off. And grabbing that red barrel for destruction. Sonyo is trying to run away. They might be conceding this first vault. No, they're coming up around for another engagement on the stairs. Sonyo doing great damage with his Lewis gun.
Yeah, but it's chip damage at range, and the problem is that BBB have positioned themselves so well as we have seen them do to fight around the corner. And the chips they get with their shotguns are more like chunks, right? They're like premium cookies, and we've got like instead they're just being tickled at range by the monkeys of Ape Squad, and it's apples and oranges really. You can't compare the two. It is consistent though what Ape Squad are doing, and obviously BBB, as they're forced around the map, will succumb to the sort of long range burst damage that focus fire can do to you, and tracking them through areas where they don't have that cover to play with. And maybe this is one of those moments where BBB need to get in that cover quite quickly. But no, looks like they want to re-engage.
Yeah, they kind of backed off.
They're stuck here.
Enough. Yeah. But they are in a good position if they get pushed. We see the RPG going off from Belize, and just kind of... Was that Belize? I couldn't tell. Anyway, the double heal beams going off, healing their team back up front. So Belize went out there and got a lot of chip damage done to him. And interestingly enough, the fighting is still pretty long ranged. No team has gotten anybody down yet, and if they have, they got immediately rezzed. So we see now Maserati running away and able to get that first cash out into the vault.
Yeah, they found that opening.
It looks like they might be running towards B.
Seems that way, and they're taking a route that provides them with cover. Looks like Cross maybe intentionally dropped off after seeing the shots come his way. Ooh, but unfortunate there, as they don't quite make it across. And that is going to be a real boon for Ape Squad in this upcoming team fight. They're going to commit to this. The defib comes through, but Belize is surely up for it right now. There we go. He goes down, and very clean wipe coming out from Ape Squad as they clean house and reclaim the box, heading towards B.
Yeah, that was great. And I think earlier today you even mentioned that, like, when you're on that zip line, you are an open target, and that is exactly what we saw. They got a lot of damage done to them from Ape Squad as they were trying to just push and get away with the cash out of the vault.
This point really favors them as well. You have to actually question maybe even BBB's decision-making here. Obviously, they didn't have the benefit of a free cam at any point up till then to see that B was in such an awkward position. Maybe they should have had it in A instead. It would have been a lot more better for them to be indoors. But they are engaging quite well here as they jump on top of the whole of Ape Squad. Lots of damage coming out, and the burst is just too much for Ape Squad to handle. Immediately taken out there. Great fight from BBB, clean as a whistle.
Yeah, that was really fast what happened. And Ape Squad had such a good position on them as well. I'm surprised that they couldn't hold it better because they had the high ground, and we saw BBB coming in and starting to push them, and it just... Yeah, wasn't the greatest thing, but we do see BBB dropping the cash out. They threw down 2 gas barrels, so this will buy them a little bit more time for the push in from Ape Squad. Ape Squad is going to have to run. We see them throwing up a zip line. We see Sonyo holding the RPGs, just ready to get that first shot off. But knowing BBB, they're going to have an APS turret ready to just counter that.
So I'm not too sure I agree with this play going in from above. Really, they've got to go in laterally and get these long angles, use the RPG to open up some sight lines, but they're not doing that. They're still looking to play vertically and get in there close and personal, which does favor the shotguns on BBB, but it looks like they caught them out here by jumping in on top, engaging that way. A lot of burst damage from that RPG, but it looks like it will be followed up with a solid heal. Interesting animation there as we watch the heavy run across the zipline, Tightrope Walker. But Spoons has gone down. Rippy trying to stick that steal as Sanso provides cover, and they have got the wipe, so this will go through cleanly.
Okay. That was interesting. I did not think that would play out as well as it did. But it almost seems like they got a little caught off guard, BBB, and
They're back in.
Ape Squad. Yeah. Still not enough time, and so this first one will go to Ape Squad.
Very strange. I don't think I caught every death on the side of BBB here, and you know this fight is next to meaningless right now, just to see who gets to the next vault first. So we'll let it play out. We'll see who gets their stats padded. It is Ape Squad looking like they come out on top once more. That's just, you know, asserting dominance at this point.
Yeah. I don't know if I would have done that if I was BBB. You know, reset, go away. Don't give him the extra points. Don't give him the kills. Don't, you know, do what you just did.
Don't, just stop it.
And I think it was a bit of like they were trying to re-show dominance. Like, yeah, we let you have that vault or the cash out, but we're better. And didn't play out. So Ape Squad will have open season on this new vault as they get it open and get it started.
Looking to take these lovely little high positions around the bookcases, around the floating walls. Very strange layout in this building. Obviously, you know, this is an unfinished piece of architecture and painted entirely
I personally
green.
love it.
I think it's a brilliant aesthetic, isn't it? It's such a cool design for the map. But yeah, you wouldn't. This is something like in Sims. You know, you're half done. Where are the snooker tables?
That's a great way of putting it. And you know, one thing that I love to do on that area is I actually put a zipline up really high, and I'm able to kind of, if the cash out is going on, I'm able to see above it because there is no roof on a lot of those walls. So you see fighting going down, and they're fighting again on this bridge area. One thing about those bridges is that they fall down really easily, and we do see just that. So now the fighting has gone from on the bridge to down on the ground.
Sanso is separated from his team there, and that will probably not matter as the two mediums able to maneuver all the way to the next point and try and stick it in. But it looks like they've lagged behind a little bit. They haven't gotten the distance that they hoped for with that Gambit, and now again he's separated from his team, and it's just picking them off one by one. Wow. What's going on, Ape Squad?
Yeah. Yeah, they're really out of position. They might have been trying to just kind of set up in a different way or find a way that they can, you know, storm onto BBB, but it's really weird choices going on so far. It will allow BBB to run over and get cash out C started.
Bit of a fight ensuing here as well as both teams finally finding each other. Sanso gets an easy pick there with his teammates onto Belize, and now it's just the two mediums on the side of BBB looking to try and close that gap. But it's not working for them. In fact, it is. They get the defib off and push deep inside and find 2 kills. Now they just need to chase up the stairs to secure the final one. And the rest of the team can just guard totems at this point. But it looks as though Spoons is heading for the hills. He chased down by the bunny Belize. So he believes in himself. He's going to get this frag, and he does. That's the team wipe just before the coin as well.
And that's got to be terrifying. If you're on the other end of that, you just see a big, heavy bunny running towards you with a shield, and you know that you can't get that shield down in time, and you are separated from your 2 dead teammates. And yeah, intimidation tactics, BBB knows what they're doing.
It's time for an Easter egg hunt, sucker. Oh, it's terrifying.
And it does look like we'll get cash out C started. There is gas already popped. I don't know if it'll really have that much of an effect because by the time that Ape Squad gets there, it'll probably be gone. But I think that they're right now looking for more canisters that they can throw on it. Interestingly enough, nobody's really running mines, which in my opinion, I think is a great way to hold the defensive setup.
I'm surprised not to see glitch mines. Honestly, glitch mines on a totem, just unbelievable tactic at this level. Like,
yeah, and I love the change that they made this season where they are line of sight instead of just kind of walking over them. I think it just makes them so much more effective.
You get that pick, you lay down a glitch tome, or you put one on the cash out as well. Also brilliant tactic. But either way, Belize has just been melted, so that might be a fight lost there. But he does get the defense. Wow. What incredible movement there from Mouse. How does he get away with it? Will secure the kill as well to follow up. But how is his team doing? All dead, and now so is he. Very close to some stellar play and heroics from Maserati, but you know, he didn't have the staff around him.
Yeah, he thought that he could get it with that res, and he almost had it for a minute. They definitely kind of switched over and had dominance, but they immediately deleted Blaze again because he only had half health after the res, and then just had to chase him down. But they are already back, and they have plenty of time to push into cash out C, and I think that we'll see one more good team fight before we decide who this goes to.
Alright, last chance saloon here for BBB to try and secure this flawlessly. Ape Squad looking to gain their first cash out of the day. Otherwise they will be... Oh, sorry, their second cash out of the day. Good engagement there from Maserati. Gets that early pick, and there is time to go through and secure this steal if they have the wherewithal for it. Still hunting for the last one. There is the heavy. Finally shows himself, and it's just a complete cluster mess on the site. But they do get the kills. Is that enough time? I don't think it is. And it looks as though Ape Squad have just about done enough to take Sis Horizon 2-0.
Okay, that was shocking. Ape Squad was able to kind of show us why they are in this upper winners bracket, because they definitely came out. They showed what they could do. That was pretty exciting to see, honestly. I thought that there were several moments that BBB just had it, showing their dominance, but no, Ape Squad was able to kind of get the objective, and that's where it really matters.
It was close. It was down to the wire at the very end as well. Very great timing on that engagement from the last two players of Ape Squad. They were down. They were down a player. It was perhaps their strategy there. You do see that a lot of the time. Final 20 seconds or so, you split the party up, forces the opponents to chase shadows. And it worked for them. Yeah. They lost that player to Maserati, found them in that distant position on the stairs, but they had no clue where the remaining two were. Maybe they were on the roof. We didn't even know. So great surprise there. Excellent play from Ape Squad. Again, controlling the map. And it did feel like those long-range engagements made a difference. Just a marginal difference on that map. At least not nearly as effective, it felt like, on that round.
Well, and one thing that I saw that was interesting is that more often than not, Belize was getting double healed by his teammates. So when you have that going on, you've only got one real damage happening, and I don't think it was really the smart move, because they lost those engagements that the double heals came out. I'm sure that it was in a moment of panic, like, oh no, we need to try and save him. But yeah, interesting that Ape Squad was able to kind of navigate that and go through. The one play that really stood out to me was at the very end, the last push for the cash, the vault, and everybody just kind of congregated on top of the cash out station, and we saw just literally chaos, like reses going down, teammates going down, and it was really cool just to see the infighting that was happening between these two teams, and just trying to do everything that they can. And BBB eventually didn't have time to steal it. If they would have maybe timed it a little bit better, they might have been able to. But it was cool to see.
It was, absolutely. And we now turn our attention to the final map of this matchup of the upper bracket final. And it's going to be Seoul, another map with lots of long-range engagements. And it could be that Ape Squad have played an absolute blinder in the ban phase here, knowing the strengths of Belize and Maus with those shotguns, and trying to work against them, allowing them, giving... Weird, though, that they would pick Skyway into them, but whatever. There's 3 maps left in the pool after the ban, so they know what's going to happen. And... yeah, it's worked out well for them. I feel like I am reducing it a little bit to this one point that I keep hammering on about. But, I'm looking at what we got in front of us. We've had 2-0s, basically. BBB winning on the map that has lots of houses and indoor and close engagements. And then Ape Squad winning 2-0 on the map that has lots of long sightlines and long-range engagements. Yep. It's kind of just... yeah, it's the simplest possible analysis, but it rings true in my mind.
Well, and interestingly, both teams, the teams that won were the teams that didn't choose. So
exactly, and they picked the wrong maps against each other, which is really strange.
Yeah,
but
so it'll be exciting to see on this last one, especially with Seoul. I think Seoul just has that really unique kind of gameplay with it. With the 2 bridges, the one that is on the rooftop, and then the sky bridge that kind of goes in between that can be taken down, because it creates kind of that funnel effect, especially if you're able to use the crane and knock down the sky bridge area and just funnel everybody into this one area. So it'll be really dependent on where the cash out stations spawn, but I think overall this will be a nice clash, and I do think that we might see a change from the shotgun on Belize, because this one has some of the biggest distances for it, and most of the cash outs are pretty open. So interesting to see what's going to be coming up as we wait for them to kind of load into this next map, the final map of this upper winners series.
It's entirely possible that we do see the switch up at this point, or maybe they just literally stick to their guns, stick to the game plan, and we'll have to see. It's the only, you know, they will know better than us. That is almost always my my go-to, and you know, the fact that I'm new here, absolutely. So interestingly, Ape, yes, they were the team that banned out Monaco, and BBB banned out Las Vegas. So that furthers my kind of theory. That's what I wanted to see with this map bound graphic thrown up back on screen. Thank you very much for that. But then yeah, they picked sort of backwards, weirdly in that way. But the point is that Ape Squad banned out Monaco, right? They banned out the closest quarters map of the bunch, and that just says to me that they know what they're up against. They're picking very smartly here. We'll see how Seoul plays out. Like you say, it's a very kind of unique map in the pool. I love it. I know some people hate it, but I think it's a fantastic map. Obviously, it plays out very differently at a competitive level than it does in my, you know, ranked and lower lobbies. But I feel like the vertical play is a very attractive part of this map for me. Every single building has at least 3 or 4 floors. You've got the beautiful kind of slanted building in the far distance, based on this little image here. You can slide all the way down and get long sight lines from. It's just great fun. It's a really fun map, especially the way that the buildings collapse and you get some really cool debris and mirror's edge moments, I like to call them.
Yeah, well, and I think one of my favorite variations is this one has the under construction, I believe, and that's the one that you can still see just a lot of like more unfinished areas of the map, and I think that that's really interesting because it just lends to more unique gameplay and you know, more spots that are open up, more ways to kind of go from building to building, and I just think that really, like you said, the you know high distance fights, I call it verticality, is just kind of what.
If we do end up with under construction, we'll find out in just a moment, then it's an interesting dynamic that it changes for both the teams and the way that the sort of long range, short range things will be playing out for them, because of course it gives you a massive vantage point if you've got these long range guns, but also it does give, you know, BBB a lot more routes to get around the map and avoid the fights that they want to avoid. So we will see. Based on this, let's see. Let's have a peek. Let's have a peek. Is it under construction? Don't know yet.
Can't tell.
We'll find out in a few seconds. No, it's not.
Yeah, it looks like standard. And I love the cranes on this map too, because the first time I realized that you could move the cranes, I was like a little kid. Like, oh my god, look at this.
It's a lot of fun.
The ball destroys stuff. Anyway, we see the first engagement going on, and they are a nice distance away as well. It does look like Sonya is still running just good. They're destroying all of the zip lines to make it harder, and we see Vault 1 being opened up.
Quick zip across the bridge as well to minimize the amount of time in the open here from BBB, but they are still getting lit up with no possibility of response. But they've managed to get themselves into a position where they can engage cleanly. A lot of damage taken there though by Cross, meaning that has to be healed up, topped back up. Should be okay though. You can see now, here is the engage right in close. That's exactly what BBB want, but Ape Squad are more than the match for it. They take down most of the opposition there. Who is left standing? That is the question. BBB on top, all 3 up, and they just have to finish off the final one who goes to that defib. It is futile. The emote from Crust. And even a little bit of crouch spamming, shall we call it.
That was great gameplay. I thought that Ape Squad had it because they had such a height advantage, and I think it was Sonya was doing just really good chip damage with that Lewis gun. That it looked like they might have had it, but I think that BBB just has the heels down, and yeah, now they're going to get set up. They're going to be able to hold this, and yeah, Ape Squad's got a little bit of an uphill battle. And there's the Skyway bridge already taken down. So, like I was saying earlier, it does create this kind of funnel effect. You can't put a zipline up where it's been taken down, but it does make it where it's just a little bit, you know, more inconvenient for.
And we cut to the weather forecast where it's a little cloudy in Seoul today. Just the one cloud though. No rain expected.
Ape Squad is set up a pretty good distance away. They set up a jump pad. Are they going to miss?
Oh,
no.
They've used the goo!
What?
They jumped on the cloud!
You know, this is why these teams are the best. That is not something I would have even done or tried or considered. So
that cannot have been
amazing
planned.
To see. Yeah.
At least not pre-planned. Beautiful adaptation though. Oh, the flank coming out, and Cross does land some damage, but it's not good enough. And now 3 up at the moment for BBB as they get the defibs off. Dome comes down, huge, baiting them into close range with the cover. Still has shield. Excellent fight coming through from Ape Squad, from BBB. Ape Squad looking to try and close it out, but it's just meaningless chip damage at this point. Jumps away, but he will get chased down. Down comes Belize.
Yep.
Oh, no one waits for him, though. If he
He
waits
is
just
running.
a split second longer, he would be safe, but surely he's out. There we go.
No team wipe though, because the
No,
yeah,
it's
I'm
a
not seeing a team
coin.
wipe. No timer.
He's
So
coined.
Sonya was able to come back in. He's just charging in there, which probably isn't the best move, but given the time that's left on the cash out, I don't think that Ape Squad is going to be able to get in there and really do anything unless Sonya has some amazing strategy in mind.
He's got to hope and pray that no one's watching the cash out right now and he can get cheeky steal.
Yeah.
But down come Crust, down come Belize. Surely to deny him. There we go. Bursted down.
And he was trying.
He was trying.
Yeah.
It was the right play. It was the only play he could have made in that situation. They still have a medium lurking above them who will be able to take pot shots at them as they cross the green bridge. But he may have missed this opportunity here as BBB are very quick to scramble.
Yeah, and they're already on their way to cash out 2, Vault 2, and I think that it looks like Maserati is a little bit separated from his team, but it might be right behind him. So they will get that second vault open. And I think, there is a team wipe, so we missed something that happened. I think Ape Squad just went down with the remaining players from BBB.
Yeah,
So
probably
Vault
just
2
a
will
1
get
versus
started.
1 on that far side, probably.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Interesting barrel. I'm not sure that's what he was trying to do.
It's fine. He'll heal up. He's got time. And in fact, to be honest, he's just opening strategic angles, as we can see. A vertical spot above A. As BBB have more than enough time to just sort of craft this to their liking after that work.
We see Belize loving those barrels. Destruction for no real reason, maybe just having fun blowing up the side of a building.
Hey, more debris favors him, you know. Shotguns, you gotta
Yeah,
keep it.
absolutely. And we see him just holding out that RPG, just waiting for them to get pushed. But he does get a little bit out of position and is forcing his teams to kind of come up behind him. Maserati does have the path to the vault, just trying to hold on to it. Gets spoons down. Oh,
wow.
another kill with Rippy. And finally, there goes Sonya. So,
Okay, so
Mal's doing some damage.
I was worried about the long-range engagements, but they got it covered. Don't listen to me. They can win those fights all day long, apparently. Doesn't matter. Sniper 90.
Yeah.
That's a callback, ladies and gents, in case you were watching earlier. Well, just, you know, that's for the stick-arounders, we'll call it. Anyway.
Cash out A is getting started.
A in progress, like you say. And, a horrible spawn. An absolutely horrible spawn for Ape Squad. They've got to come all the way across this this gangway. They're going to be perfectly visible from the high ground as well for most of this. But a lot of time's going to tick down, and I would say this gives them maybe 2 fights.
Yeah, maybe it's going to be, they're going to have to really push in, but they are just going to get chip damaged away. And
Not bad, not bad.
yeah,
They've got in with
and
a
Mesh is
decent
really
amount.
doing a lot of damage, or pulling a lot of weight there, I should say.
Yeah, it's reverse damage, we'll call it. Taking the damage, tanking it. And opening up their route to the site. And here, Spoon's looking to make a play here while this team go in underneath. No, maybe it's just a bait. They look to zip themselves up right to the top. Where are BBB, though? That is the question on our minds. They are waiting up top. They're not ready for it, though. They weren't watching, didn't spot the zip as it came up. And they get that early chunk of damage in. Belize now separated from his 2 mediums, but they get the frags that they need. Oh, bit of a misstep there from Rippy as he finds himself now on the lower end of things. And BBB very comfortable now to wait this out. In fact, Rippy, if you want a call right now, you've got to jump off. Or maybe you just wait the team out. I always forget this is quick cash rules. You know, they could maybe get in here with enough time left.
Yeah, I don't think that there's a chance. I think that they have one good push, but they need to be on it basically now. And it is just time is just ticking away. We see the gas going down, so they broke a barrel. And we see that one of them is trying to steal. Looks like Rippy tried to go for it. He goes down.
Brilliant
and finally,
kills.
we're left with spoons. I don't think he's going to be able to do this for his team, and I think this is going to go the way of BBB.
Crust with a massive pair of kills from the top rope there on both mediums. Utterly annihilating Ape Squad, and BBB do it in 3. 2-0, 0-2, and 2-0. Once again, another flawless map for them. They would advance to the upper bracket finals, where they get to face No Name, who have made a name for themselves, we have to say.
Yeah, that was impressive. I really kind of got to see a lot from BBB. They were able to hold every engagement that they got to. They stopped the steal from Ape Squad several times, and some of these players like Belize and Mauser was doing great with that shotgun, and it was just really a sight to see. I wish that I had that kind of aim and that kind of coordination with that shotgun there. But real top tier plays. I think that they played it well. There were some good spawns on Seoul, and both teams played well. So I don't think this is the end of Ape Squad. I think that they still have a lot ahead of them, and but they definitely went up against a really tough competitor with BBB.
Absolutely. And so we will be bringing you 2 more games tonight. We have the losers final, which will be between NTHX and Ape Squad, and then in the grand final we'll have BBB up against No Name. I do believe it will be the losers final first. That would make the most sense, right? I don't run things around here. I'm going to assume that that's the way around it goes. I know it was posted somewhere earlier. I'm just lazy.
Yeah.
We've got the thumbs up. It is correct. I know my stuff apparently. We'll pretend that was planned.
Cool. Yep. And so stay tuned, because we do have the lower final coming up, and more matches coming ahead. We're going to go to a quick break.
Yeah. They hate when you elevate. The second of losses, I'm handing them out. Yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment. I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly. I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. Yeah. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Yeah. I had to elevate. I'm way too fly. Yeah, I'm feeling myself. Ain't no chance I'm coming down, no. Got this whole view to myself. Yeah, why would I give it up? Why do they wanna come take my place? I work too hard for it, don't need a replacement. This my vocation. Now I got rollies all in rotation. Hop on a jet just to take a vacation. Remember the moments was trapped in the basement. Now the hard work is all taking me places. Squatting on bed like we trapped in the matrix. Bet on myself and go ball out in Vegas. Living a life like I'm rich and I'm famous. Don't see the grind that I know that it came with. I ain't make it this far for myself. I had to prove to everybody else. I had to set them straight. Yeah, I had to boss. I had to renovate. I know they hate when you elevate. The second of losses, I'm handing them out. Yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment. I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly. I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. Yeah, they hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Yeah, I had to elevate. Ooh, yeah. Why they wanna bring me down? So much drip, yeah, I almost drowned in it. I can't dim it down. Yeah, I'm way too fired up. I can't simmer down. Ooh, yeah. I see the flashing lights. Make sure the fashion right. Yeah, I'm in my bag tonight. Yeah. Ooh, I might just pull up before it. Watch out, the engine is roaring. It's too loud, you can ignore it. Yeah. This the high life with a few. Yeah. You can have it all, no need to choose. Yeah. First, let me demonstrate how you can rise to the top. Yeah. They hate when you elevate. The second of losses, I'm handing them out. Yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment. I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly. I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. Yeah. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Yeah. I had to elevate. feeling myself. Ain't no chance I'm coming down, no. Got this whole view to myself, yeah. Why would I give it up? Why do they wanna come take my place? I work too hard for it, don't need a replacement. This my vocation, now I got rollies all in rotation. Hop on a jet just to take a vacation. Remember the moments was trapped in the basement. Now the hard work is all taking me places. Water all bad like we trapped in the matrix. Bet on myself and go ball out in Vegas. Living a life like I'm rich and I'm famous. Don't see the grind that I know that it came with. I ain't make it this far for myself, yeah. I had to prove to everybody else, yeah. I had to set them straight, yeah. I had to boss, I had to renovate. I know they hate when you elevate. You're stacking up losses, I'm handing them out, yeah. I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment. I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly. I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. Yeah, they hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Yeah, I had to elevate. Ooh, yeah. Why they wanna bring me down? So much drip, yeah, I almost drowned in it. I can't dim it down. Yeah, I'm way too fired up. I can't simmer down. Ooh, yeah. I see the flashing lights. Make sure the fashion right. Yeah, I'm in my bag tonight. Yeah. Ooh, I might just pull up before it. Watch out, the engine is roaring. It's too loud, you can ignore it. Yeah. This the high life with a few. Yeah. You get to have it all, no need to choose. Yeah. First, let me demonstrate how you can rise to the top. Yeah, I had to elevate. Yeah. You can't manage this, can't break this, boy, I'm funded. Gotta keep my
And welcome back to Breakout Esports Masters Split 2. We are heading into the losers bracket of today's matches with Ape Squad and No Name. I think that if anything from what we've seen from these two teams today, I think it could be anybody's game. So we have some exciting matches coming up. And Jerry, do you have any thoughts?
Well, we've seen both of these teams play now, so we can do a little bit more of a deep dive into how they might play today. Once we get those map bans up as well, we'll definitely have a good amount of stuff to go on, and they are ready for us right now. So let's jump right in. We've got the No Name banning first, taking out Seoul, and Ape Squad banning out Las Vegas, and that leaves us with Skyway Stadium. Again, the first pick of our three, being for No Name. We did see them play that earlier against NTHX and lose it, but it was a close one. It was 2-1 to NTHX. Sis Horizon being picked by Ape Squad, and we have seen that as well again, won by Ape Squad earlier against BBB, just a couple of maps ago on the stream. And if we do get there, Monaco, which we haven't had the chance to see any of today. So part of me wants to, you know, see this go the distance.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, Monaco would be a fun one to watch because we, like you said, haven't seen it. And in my opinion, it's one of the cooler maps. Like it's just has a lot of really cool areas in it, and it is really close combat. So it does have intersparsed areas that are open, but really when it gets down to the cash out stations, they're in buildings, they're in locations that make it easy to set up a defense and make it hard to kind of push in offensively. And I think that it makes for really unique gameplay. So going off of the banned and pick maps, I think that these two teams have a good chance of making it to map number 3, and I think that we might see it, but we'll have to hold up and see what happens. No Name and Ape Squad. Yeah, I think that there's a lot to see here, a lot to pick apart, especially just from the matches we've already seen. You know, Noah X on No Name, wonderful player, and I think Ape Squad. I really was enjoying watching Sonya, so because they were really playing heavy well. So throwing up the barricades, throwing up, just the rocket when it needs to happen. His teammates are great at healing him, and I think that it'll be a nice matchup coming between these two teams.
Absolutely will, and I'm very excited, especially to see how they just match up against each other, right? Because we've just seen how sort of. I feel like we haven't come across a more standard team than Ape Squad today. And I don't mean that in a negative sense, but they play with the shields, with the double heals, with the double AKs, right? It's very clear what they're going for. I think it was an AK and an FCAR perhaps, but either way, it's a double assault rifle. And just to see how No Name stack up against a more standard squad, because they were being thrown up against earlier NTHX, who were running with the lights on their side in Alphonse. So this might be a little bit of a different test for No Name in the server right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And it does look like we have suspended structures. So this will be even more interesting because it concentrates the gameplay and kind of where they need to go to. And it makes these fights a little bit tighter. So we do see the teams getting started. Ape Squad spawned a good distance away from No Name. And they are going to be closer to the vault. So Vault 1 getting closer, but it is up in that suspended structure. So this will be exciting to see when both teams kind of get close and push into it.
Here we go. All right. So first fight on its way. Jump pad immediately up to get the high ground here. This gives the pink team a little bit of an advantage, as No Name will find themselves on that side. We have Ape Squad looking to just control the ground right now, and in fact we see No Name going below here to re-engage behind, get the jump on this team, and it works. A huge amount of damage chunked onto that medium, but they don't find the victory at the other end of it, not immediately at least. They do have the extra player up, and it looks like No Name are in a decent spot here to seal things out. That's the one right there. They do clean up house. There's one left standing somewhere. Where is he? That is the question. Looks like they got him as the totems disappear. So a little bit confusing there from our perspective, but we got there in the end, and it looks like they're headed straight away.
Yep, they've got a good distance away, but they will get there, and I think that Ape Squad will have time to respawn before they're even able to put that into Cash Out A. So Cash Out A, big suspended structure. They're going to hop on, and we see now Ape Squad just kind of trying to close the gap, get up there, and try and just get into the fight before the Cash Out gets too far in.
Early engage there. Jump pad comes through. They're using, of course, the jump pads provided by the map itself, which means that you really can't be shooting those out or anything. Close range engagements, they're tickling around the corner here. Doesn't quite land the finishing blow on the heavy. That allows them to heal back up. And their shield causing untold chaos there. Brilliant use of it. But it is finally one left standing, and that is Spoons. Just about does it for his team. Ape Squad will get this steal through. They get the reses.
Yeah. And that was exciting to see, because you could see that both teams were got down to just one player at the end, and they were kind of going back and forth between that one cement barrier in the wall and just trying to hold off, go in, pop in and out. But it didn't work out too well for No Name, so Ape Squad was able to end up getting that steal and getting the team wipe. So great plays from Ape Squad so far, and No Name now has an uphill battle as they try and go into Cash Out A, but they do have plenty of time. They're taking it a little slow as they push in, so it is just ticking down, and if I were them, I would really try and get on point.
They have time for one fight effectively, so they know that they've got to get this one right. I think that's probably the call there. Rotating now to take a different approach, it would seem. They duck back down. They still have the RPG in pocket. They haven't used it yet. Going for the map pad. They find the angle, but the RPG does not connect with anyone. That could be costly. They have two angles to worry about here as the heavy dives straight on in, causing real chaos. And that should be enough to help them secure the fight here. But no! They come out swinging. And No Name in a pretty good spot here as they find themselves able to almost take down everyone, trying to stick the steal through the shield, but no, given away there. Does get the trade, and now it's heavy versus heavy, trying to protect the steal, but he doesn't get it. What?
Oh, no.
What? How do you not finish him off? Must have run out of bullets.
Yeah, you could see him trying to elbow him, just do that melee kill. And now they're just running around chasing each other.
But the
Like
steal
little
didn't
Tom
happen.
and Jerry.
The steal
Yeah.
didn't happen. It was so close.
We see Noah. Wow, he actually gets the kill.
It's still going.
Jeez.
How is this fight still going? How?
That was impressive. Just a lot of... Oh,
Oh.
they're still going at it.
Low grab. Low grab. This is already a chaotic fight. Please, no. We don't need the jump pads in the... I think they're finally going to get the wipe here. Oh, no, up he goes. Into space. And he's got the mesh shield, so he
everything
will
that they
survive. But
can.
no, finally
There
bursts through the
goes.
last of the mesh shield. Wow. That fight must have lasted like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Is that a
yeah,
finals
that
record?
was- Yeah, especially with how both teams are. Like I'm impressed by that because they were able to kind of dig in and out of these fights that were pretty much consistent. So Spoons will get open, Vault and cash out too, and yeah, they've got a nice position that they can set up, and Ape Squad, has the first cash out.
So do you think that's excellent defending, excellent, self-preservation, or is that a lack of lethality from both sides? Because, once the defibs start coming off of cooldown, that's a
Yeah.
sign that maybe people aren't landing their shots, maybe people aren't optimizing their focus fire. I don't know.
I'm not
What could
sure.
it be?
Yeah, because it was just pretty much chaos. Like I think that a lot got lost, and people were getting rezzed, and they were going down, and then both teams were calling like we have to get this wipe. So it was just kind of that trying to go away with dominance for either team because one team just lost the cash out. So yeah, I'm not sure yet, but we do see another team fight coming off. One person goes down. I see the res coming back in for Noah. He does get res. But it does look like in the process he was able to go down. So Vlad low, Noah low, Electro low, and
Still up.
they are
Oh,
there.
never mind. There
Not
goes
anymore.
Electro.
Noah's
Noah-
trying to stay along.
He may get the self-heal here. Yes, he does, but his teammate goes down, and does he as well? I don't
Yep,
think
that is a team wipe
That
for
was
No
that
Name.
was a very quick team wipe there. Just ticking down the last few. So we could have fights like that, or we could have war of attrition style fights like we've seen from the very start. Because of course this is, I talked about how No Name were playing against. They were playing as a kind of very standard squad. Ape Squad also a very standard squad. HMM double heals, like no shotguns in sight, and that just means that people aren't going to people are going to die slowly. Potentially,
Yeah.
we might have these long drawn out fights that just seem to last forever, but it's about who does that, who plays the grind game better.
Yeah, and so far Ape Squad is really kind of putting their all into it. I think that they're a little upset that they just lost, and they just want to show that no, we are better than this. And No Name, boy, they need to kind of get it together.
Going across
We
the
see
low
another
ground
engagement
here.
getting started. Yeah, going in through the low ground, they're going to try and blow it up from below because it is such a guarded position where this cash out is. It's inside of a building, inside of another room, inside this like walled off cement area. So we see them jumping in, trying to get the RPG shot. It looked like the APS took that down.
Ooh.
And I think Ape was able to bring everybody but one down. Yeah, there's Electro.
That was
and
a
he goes
heavy
down
commit.
as well.
A heavy commit to that jump pad, and the focus fire was much better that time round
Yeah.
from this squad, from Sonsoyo and co. So that'll be Ape Squad most likely claiming the first one. There is possibly still time for one more fight here, but with the way these fights are going, for the most part, I don't think they're going to have the opportunity to steal at the end of this. And if Ape Squad play this correctly, they can just play for time. They can keep themselves alive and deny that steal.
Yeah, and with how like defensive this one spot is, they have to really push in.
Oh, here we
and
go.
Just kind of get it. Ooh, but Ape Squad is just doing a lot of damage from above.
Yeah,
You
this
see
is
the
good.
Double heals. Yeah.
Just making it difficult for them to even approach is burning down that timer. And now look at it. They're not anywhere near it. I don't think they're underneath, or at least they're not in a spot to be able to steal it right now. They're realizing that now. They're just pushing for the kills at this moment. But Electro goes down, and it's another solid hold. That is the round. Wow,
Yeah.
it was over. It felt like it lasted so long at points, but it was over so quickly in other places. Like that was a very, very strange one for us as spectators. But Ape Squad just seal it.
Yeah, and I think Ape Squad just really showed some amazing gameplay. I feel like we're seeing a different side of them from what we just saw. Like that was brutal. Like they had they had No Name kind of set up to just fail in that position because we saw just so much chip damage going on. I think that it was Spoons. I was watching him with the F car, and he was doing a lot of damage. Like every time we were watching him, it just seemed like he had a laser focus on there, and just made it hard for No Name to push in. So great defense by them. Lucky spawns maybe for the cash out stations, but at the same time, they were able to really take advantage and set up a great defense on those maps or on those.
Absolutely.
Spawns.
Yeah, I think there's only so much luck you can have in this game. You really do make your own. And if you find those kills, if you set yourself off on the front foot, especially, then you can start to control the game. And Ape Squad did that quite well. Very strange situation around the final moments of that first cash out, though. Almost having a steal because the heavy couldn't reload and had to quick melee a guy down. But it didn't matter in the end. So yeah, very very strange one up there. But that's this game. It's a very strange game at times. And Skyway, we've now seen in all 3 best of 3s, and we're heading to Sis Horizon for the 2nd time today now. No Name, they haven't won a map in ever today. We haven't seen them claim a whole map. We've seen them get a couple of cash outs against NTHX, but do they have it in them on Sis Horizon?
I'd love to see it because I think No Name is a great team. We've seen them before, and I've seen better performance out of them. So I know it's possible. I know that they can do it. And
you've promised me Noah. You've promised me Noah X is going to impress me, and I've seen nothing yet. I really want to.
Yeah, he was really kind of a shining star in the last split. Just somebody that I was watching really heavily, and just somebody that even I was taking notes for. Like, I need to go back and I need to do this when I play. So the team is there, the composition is there. Maybe they're just having a bad day. Maybe they need more caffeine, more coffee. Who knows? It just there's a lot of variables here. They could just be having a bad day at the end of the day. But they are still in this split. They have made it so far here. So I don't want to give up hope. I think that there's a lot of great players, a lot of great plays coming up. And if I were to go back just for a second to that first cash out we were just talking about, I want to go back and watch that because that was just utter chaos when it was happening.
I want a second go at casting it.
Yeah.
I was so lost. This was my first day, guys. Like that was chaos for me. But yeah, it's difficult to follow sometimes, quite honestly. Yeah, it was really interesting as well because you'd get to look at the minutiae of all those different interactions as well. So many things that you don't get to see even from an overhead perspective. So yeah, it would be really good to go back and watch those. The turnaround though, is it on the cards for No Name? And if it is, on their map pick of Sis Horizon, it's got to be here, right?
Yeah, Sis Horizon is the map. I'm surprised that we've even seen it banned once today, but I think that we're about to hop in and see just more great gameplay from both teams. So let's hope that No Name, you got this. I'm rooting for you guys, and Ape Squad, if not, you guys really can set up a great defense. So both teams have a lot going for them. As we get started, we do have night mode in Sis Horizon, so things are a little more ambiance and a little darker.
I love all of the neon lights and displays that come on in night mode as well. So, fighting some pink people against a pink background. Good luck with that. Walling off that side route. Very, very nice play from Vladimir. And they're just waiting now. We had first contact, but nothing follow up. Tension. You could cut it with a knife here. No one's going to tap that vault, are they? Do wonder where the other side are at this moment in time. Biding their time, looking for an opening, making an opening quite literally. Bleach Barrel doesn't quite go through, does connect onto something or someone, and this is a great angle taken up by Rippy. Puts a lot of damage out onto Vladimir, but he is being healed up in the meantime. But he baits out those mediums to come out into the open. Ape Squad in the ascendancy here, but they have to capitalize on this damage at some point, and it looks as though No Name have managed to fall back into the shadows.
Yeah, exactly. And it's interesting how long this fight is still going on just for this first vault. I don't even think it's been opened yet. It might be, but I don't think so.
It got tapped a few moments ago. I think No Name managed to fall down and get that.
But no team wipe. They're just trying to push in. Yeah.
They traded places in this engagement, and now No Name fighting back from where Ape Squad were a moment ago. It's like they're fed up of that fight. they decided that's a 50-50. No one's winning that one. We've got to take a different angle. And they're fighting across the long open area now instead. But again, very little damage being connected on either side. Lack of lethality.
We are almost 4 minutes into this first fight. 4 minutes.
4 minutes. That's unreal.
Has anybody even gone down yet? Like,
there's
the first person.
There we go.
There we go.
The first to stumble, and you don't want to be that person.
Immediately
right
comes
now.
back up.
Immediately res, but that is util used and resources lost on the side of No Name. Now forced back, but they are fighting their way out with some great shots. Oh, not aware is he? But Noah is now the last alive, and he's just squatting for his. You know, to get his steps in. I don't know. You don't get steps from squats. Maybe you do. You fool the pedometer in your pocket by doing that.
Yeah, and wow, what an amazing first battle. Ape Squad was eventually able to get the team wipe, which they were going for. We saw the first person go down, and then Noah was kind of left trying to just hold back, and then he eventually got swarmed and taken down. So, great gameplay. Really interesting, slow... that they've slowed things down, especially because the last map was over in like 8-9 minutes, and right now we're already 5 minutes in and just got Cash Out A started. So interesting to see these two teams maybe taking a little bit of a different approach, and as they get set up, we see Ape Squad is going for this part on the roof, which is smart because it's the highest area in the map, and they can kind of see this approach from No Name. And No Name's doing everything they can to put up the barricades and trying to get a defensive position, maybe get a little chip-off damage on Ape Squad. And we do see them moving and still taking damage. So I think that it's Numb or Spoons on the other team. That's just, like I said in the last map, he's great at getting that chip damage, making things just a little more difficult for the team that is pushing in.
It's almost like a game of squad, right? Both teams are so risk-averse. They're really protecting their lives in this situation. They're really looking to try and get that chip damage from range, maneuver around the map and find the opening. At the moment, though, it's a little bit of a strange one for No Name, or for Ape Squad, rather, because they're sitting... They have a decent sight line on the cash-out, but I feel as though No Name could abuse this, maybe bring it down a layer or two. They're not looking to do that, it seems. They're looking to jump back up, and there is the jump pad. Here we go. Shots rain out, and they don't find the kills, unfortunately met with resistance, and it looks as though Noah, taken down, does get the defib off, but he is no more. Coins everywhere, but Ape Squad succeed in their defense, and that is probably just enough time to gain them and secure them that first cash out.
Yep, I think so. And what was interesting is that at both times there were both teams were down a member, and they were able to kind of fight through. And interestingly enough, Ape Squad didn't go for the res. They went for the kills instead of the res. And I think that's the difference is that No Name went for that res, put themselves in a vulnerable position, and then went down immediately right after the res. So you had two teammates taken down, and it just kind of, the cards fell right after that.
The entry damage is so important, though, in this sort of lineup, right? When you're basically playing a mirror comp, you have to force one of those mediums onto a defib or a heal beam, and then push off of that. They don't have their guns up. If you can land some shots during that time, then you're cushy. Noah taking the brunt of damage there, but he will be forced back. And again, we're in this exact same fight. It's deja vu, ladies and gents. The ball has spawned in the same spot, basically.
Yeah, just a little around one more corner than it was before. It's on this little floating platform.
Oh, go on. Tap it. Just tap it. Come on. There we go.
Yeah, he ran over it.
Yeah.
He was going for blood. Vladimir was just trying to push.
Oh, he spots
so we do see No Name is in control of the vault for right now. Can they hold it? They are in a better position, maybe? They are below Ape Squad. So Ape Squad, Rippy with a great damage with that AK.
But there's no follow-up. The thing is, right now, is Ape Squad are doing well individually to secure a lot of damage, and they're doing it right now to find a lot of kills, and it looks like they will win this fight off the back of it, but they're playing a kind of split-up position to try and get crossfires and protect an area rather than committing to a kill. So when they find an opening, they're not necessarily able to secure it. They're really relying on sort of individual star power to carry them through these fights a lot of the time, but it has done its work just here. No Name, in fact, are the ones that came out on top in that one, excuse me. So Ape Squad now have it all to do, as they are ahead one map and one cash out, but No Name have to fight their way back in, and this is where it starts.
Yeah, and we are seeing Noah doing some stuff today. I wonder if we can get the scoreboard on the screen for a second while we get set up on this next cash out, because we do have a few seconds of while No Name is getting set up on the defense. But I'm curious to see. Ooh, never mind. It seems like they're getting pushed immediately. Electro gets shot down to quarter health. A lot of
shots there, but the RPG does more damage than a whole mag of bullets ever could right there. Vladimir backing up with the shield, and he does hit a nice tasty RPG onto one, but again, it's all impactless damage. Takes 3 players down to half HP, but you've got to land those kills.
Yep, Ape Squad was able to just wipe them, and they're going to get the steal because they did get the team wipe down. So now we have No Name trying to fight for this cash out, because this might be it. This might be the end.
Could be. In the hands of the pink team of Ape Squad for the time being. This looks like 1, maybe 2 fights if they're lucky. Close spawn might make it 2. Let's see how this one goes. Jumping up to this very advantageous position. Always use this in your rank games, people. It's such a good spot. Does take a lot of damage though, and Spoons has gone down as well. Sonsayo needs to hit something big with this RPG. Does, but not enough follow-up, because of course Rippy is the only one left standing, and that is the heavy taken down. They do trade one off, but the defib is there. Rippy now on low HP, has to play his life here, has to defend this cash out with his life, but it is being stolen as we speak, and I don't think he's going to have the wherewithal. Spoons does get to coin back in. They have one opportunity to retake this here.
Yeah, and we're still waiting for their heavy to respawn, so by the time he does, it's going to be real close. They're going to have to dive in and try and hold this. So No Name has done great movement here. They were able to secure it, get kills, and really kind of give them a little bit of breathing room. I think that they have bought themselves this cash out.
They absolutely have there, as the steal isn't quick enough, it would seem. There's the backup, and they deny it. Fantastic play. So we will go all the way here.
They're still fighting over this area. Both teams are low. There goes Vlad. And we do see a team wipe from No Name by Ape Squad.
Yeah, that gives them a bit of time to approach the next vault scot-free.
Yeah, they'll be on it, and I don't know if we'll see an elongated fight like we've seen over the first 2. So it'll all come down to this. If No Name is able to secure this Vault 3, we will go to Map 3. But if Ape Squad is able to kind of hold it and grab it, they might just be able to take this and get the victory and get a 2-0 on No Name.
So Ape Squad have control of the Vault here. They have control of the game in theory, and it is just that final cash out. They failed once, so they get a second time of asking now to see all this out in 2 maps, and we might not get to see Monaco after all if they do that.
Yeah, the elusive Monaco. We see Spoons getting set up, and like I said before, look at how much damage he's able to do. He is on point with the F-car, and really it is kind of making a difference. A lot of these fights, I don't see a lot of important damage happening, but from every time we've gone to his perspective on a long-range fight like this, he's been doing some really impactful damage. And there it goes again. It's like Noah is low, and he just went down.
Oh, brilliant burst there. This is the focus fire that they needed from the very beginning there. Identifying that single target, finishing him off, and then wiping the rest with them. Very quick as well. No opportunity to heal or to defib. Both teams fully committed there, and that's something we haven't seen yet, really, in this match.
Yeah, it's been slower paced, and I do like to see a little bit more thought going into these fights instead of just blindly running in and jumping. So it's cool to see that, but definitely they jumped in, committed, and unfortunately or fortunately, Ape Squad was able to take it away.
That spawn is something else. It's going to stop them from going straight to C here. They have to fight before they get to it. APS set down, they're building themselves a hunkered position. Great little use of the barricade there to hop up another floor. And Vladimir forced forward, but that drop, very important. The RPG dropping them down a floor, and now they have to fight in unfavorable territory. Spray is all over the place here. And it looks as though the heal beam won't sustain. It does sustain him through. Rippy just keeps holding that mouse and gets the defib. But TTV Noah is finally able to get some kills. Land some good headshots on the last one, but Vladimir, the last alive, can't connect with anyone. Ape Squad cling on, and they will continue with their roam towards that C site.
Yeah, Ape Squad has got some amazing damage on them. Every time we're seeing them, they really have got those perfect headshot kills, and it's just kind of exciting to watch. Previously I was saying watch Noah, but it seems like Spoons is somebody to watch. Even their heavy Sonyo is doing just some really fun, amazing shots off. And what was interesting about that last fight is that it was on the ledge, so really inconvenient, really close, and we did see the ledge kind of drop down. But now they're in a great position here because this is one of the most, in my opinion, overpowered spots in this entire map because they have such an overhead view. And look at this. Look at that.
I have like PTSD from Power Shift on this. There's always a sniper. There's always a grenade launcher. There's always someone up there, and there's just hell to get down. You can't. It's so difficult to contest.
So this might go in the way of Ape Squad because they have a great defense. They have everything going for them. We see Electro trying to break through, trying to make any opening, but yeah, immediately they know that they're on the roof area. So they are pushing in, not taking a lot of damage, not really dealing a lot either. Oh, there he goes.
Got some good
There's
cover
Electro.
here is the thing with the barricade. This is a very nice position played by Telco. But now he's exposed himself and he's being a hail of bullets for it. He would back up. This second barricade, their own placing now, they're in a position they want to be in to try and tackle both of these positions on the roof, but they're just not getting enough of a bite of either of them. But Rippy, poor positioning there, exposing himself far too greatly. Now he's down to 2. He might have fell, yeah.
Yeah, and that is the hard part, is that you have to kind of Mario your way around jumping them once the glass is broken. But they do still have a great overhead view. And look at that! Spoons, he's got that laser with the F-car. Really cool to see, and this cash out is almost done. It does look like it's going in the way of Ape Squad.
They denied the steal from so far afield, surely. It's just a case of getting this player up and then trying a second time. Do they have the domes? Do they have the body blocks even? They've got the mesh shield, but the timing's a little bit off as they don't start the steal, and it is just a shooting gallery for Ape Squad. They get it for free. They had to commit no name there, but Ape Squad had the time on their side, and they do it again. In 2-0 fashion this time over No Name, who have failed to secure a single map today, unfortunately. Great performance yesterday, but couldn't carry that over into the top 4, and they finish 4th today. Ape Squad in 3rd. Congratulations.
Yeah, Ape Squad was brutal. Like, they came out swinging. Yeah. I really have a feeling that they're a little shocked that they lost to BVB, and they just wanted to show that, no, we got this. We're going to show you. I want to go on their defense and talk about their defense for a sec, because every time that I saw them getting set up in an area, getting set up, it was, they put Spoons out there. They would throw up the barricades, and then they would throw Spoons in a little to the left or a little to the right, and he would just chip away at the teams. Such a long range, and I don't know if you've used the F-car, but it's hard to get those shots off from long range. It does a little bit, from medium to close range.
Sorry,
it's easier.
I'm just giggling because you're talking about throwing spoons as a viable strategy. We've got throwing knives in the game, but I think they're a little pointier. Spoons, you've got to hope it's like a blunt edge weapon. Maybe you're knocking people out with it. But yeah, you're right. Throwing spoons in those situations and then just trying to play from above. That really did bait them towards the objective, like you mentioned there. So it was a good play. It was a good play.
Yeah, well, it was great. Ape Squad absolutely earned it. They definitely earned those 2 wins. They did everything that they could, and honestly, pretty shocking. I'm sad that we didn't see more from No Name, because I was talking up Noah X and a few other players, but Ape Squad showed us who's boss, so they will move in, and unfortunately No Name will be out. So we have one more game coming up one more matchup coming up for you guys, so stay tuned after this short break.
number 9. Diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. Big time, lot of sun. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me. Yeah. Ooh, big time, big time, big time. Big time. I got a lot of shine. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of grind. Try and take it from me, must be out your mind. Oh, I'm big time, lot of shine. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try and take it from me, from me, from me, from me. Big time, number 9. Down in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the numbers, that's a lot of grind. Try and take it from me, must be out your mind. Oh, I'm big time, lot of shine. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try and take it from me, take it from me.
And welcome back to Breakout Esports Masters Split 2, and coming in with our final two teams of today, and it's actually going to be BBB and Ape Squad. So if you've been watching since the beginning, this is what we started with, and we will be going off and seeing these two teams go up against each other one more time.
Yep, and behind the scenes, I had to confess that I just completely forgot how a double elimination brackets work. Ape Squad have fought their way through here to find themselves in the grand final. So this is a repeat of the upper bracket winners final, essentially. Ape Squad matching up against BBB yet again, which we saw earlier go in BBB's direction. But it did go to 3 maps. We saw them take Skyway and then lose Sis Horizon, but win out on the decider of Seoul. So can they do it again? That's the question. Can BBB double down, or will Ape Squad turn it round on the second time of asking?
Yeah, honestly, after what we've seen Ape Squad do in this last matchup, I think that they can. I think that they were a little, maybe rocky start this morning, but now they've got more games underneath them, and I think that they really got their confidence built back up. I know if I was in their position, I would, because they played amazing just recently, and I think that we're in for some really good games coming up here in just a few minutes. So yeah. I think we're ready for the MVP map vote, or the MVP. Nope, not yet. Sorry.
Yeah. It's coming up. It's coming up. We got something tasty.
Do we have the map bans ready for this upcoming series?
We may or we may not, but we'll have to see. Let's give our producer a moment.
Yes,
Give us something. Give us something right now. There we go. Wow. Okay. Consummate professional actually does provide us with something to talk about. Here we go. So, Sis Horizon banned by BBB. That is the singular map they lost.
Wow.
Seoul banned by Ape Squad, the decider map from the last series that they lost. So, we will see Monaco, Rio.
Yay.
Fantastic news.
That's amazing. We finally get to see Monaco, and then followed up by Skyway Stadium, and then the decider on Vegas. I think that these 3 maps are going to be a great showcase of what these teams can do. Monaco will be kind of the one that's up in the air, because we have not seen any team play on it today, so we don't know how BBB plays on it, we don't know how Ape plays on it, and I think that it'll be just one that I don't know if it'll be a clean sweep by either team. I think that it might be nice back and forth.
I can tell you how Monaco might go, how BBB might play on Monaco. I think they might play well on Monaco. Based on what I saw them do yesterday in qualifying, that's all I saw. I did one bit of research, and it was seeing them play on Monaco, and holy cow, I'm a bit worried for Ape.
Well, that's good to know. And yeah, Skyway Stadium will be interesting, because last time we got the suspended structure in the middle, not the suspended structure, the elevated platform. Boy, I'm just butchering it right now. But we got a nice variation of it, and I'm curious to see what we will get going forward on it. And I just got the word that we are ready to do a poll for the MVP vote for One Shot Energy, to see y'all's pick of who you want to vote to get a nice little care package from One Shot Energy. One Shot Energy is great because they have these nice little voice drops that they are great for us casters, and any of these players, they get nice little energy drinks and kind of a nice variation on all of the things that One Shot does. So there should be a poll in Twitter. On Twitter in chat that you can get the link to, so click on that, make a tweet, make your vote known for these players, for who you think should be our one-shot MVP today.
So you can vote for your favourites right now, or you could wait until this game is up and see if either Belize or Spoons play an absolute blinder, basically. That's one thing. Or if you were impressed with Alphonse's light play earlier, then you can go for him. Some of his plays are sticking in my memory. Noah as well did his darndest on No Name to keep them in the running as well. So we'll see how it plays out, and I'm excited. I don't know who I would pick right now, honestly. It's a tight race.
Definitely, and I think that there is a different reason for each, for you to choose. I think that we will see more gameplay coming up from, the two that are still playing, and but if you do have a preference, a favorite, a friend even, please go vote for them on Twitter and throw a vote their way, because it's definitely helps and gets the engagement for the community. So something that we love to do, and thank you to our great sponsor One Shot for sending that amazing care package to the winners, because I'm sure that they love to get it. So
can you imagine Belize wins it on his first tournament inside of the breakout series. That'd be quite something. Turning up day one, wins the MVP. Could happen. Could happen.
Could happen. It might just happen too, because Belize has been a great player today. A lot of his team play, a lot of his plays are really nicely team based. We don't see him running out there and just kind of getting kills on his own. His healers and his other teammates are kind of holding him up and supporting him. So Belize is definitely a contender for that vote. So please make your voice heard and go vote.
Alright, so let's turn our attention to this matchup then. BBB versus Ape Squad. We know that we're going to be on Monaco first and foremost. I've already cast my lot. I think that BBB are a pretty powerful force on this kind of map. We saw how they stacked up on very close quarters engagements. Monaco is chock full of those, unless we get duck and cover, which could happen. So we'll see.
Yeah. And duck and cover, that's the one that, what is that
with
variation?
the ruins in the middle, so the cathedral's completely destroyed, apparently by the giant duck. But even then, to be fair, the rest of the map is still lots and lots of tight spaces and enclosed spaces. So you might get unlucky with cash out spawns, you might end up with them in the ruins, you might end up with them in the forests on the edges of the map, but in general, if BBB are able to control this game the way they were able to control before, and get those cash outs into buildings, onto bottom floors, then they should be a cinch for this map, in my opinion. But they no longer have the element of surprise, and that could be something that Ape Squad, who have now played 3 games in a row, are feeling warm, might have the upper hand on.
Yep, I think it's anybody's game, and I'm excited to see as we hop into it. I'm curious to see the loadouts of what we'll get. If we'll see the same thing that we saw from Ape Squad and same thing we saw from BBB. It does look like medium heavy on both teams, but we'll have to double check that here in a second. And I can't tell, but it looks like maybe Ape Squad got a good spawn, and they're pretty close to that vault already.
They really are, but the zip is going to help Ape Squad get all the way up very quickly. It's BBB that had the close spawn there in pink, and that's fine. But yeah, they do manage to tap it. But of course, having this vertical advantage might help. Lots of cover inside of construction, though. But they have to get past Ape Squad to get to one of these objectives right now. And we know BBB don't want to stick around in this sort of situation. They want to engage either quickly or safely. And at the moment, it's just Ape Squad raining down hell upon them.
Yeah, that was actually really cool to see from the overhead camera, because you could just see it really was bullets just raining down from above onto BBB. So Ape Squad is in a great position. Maybe they're able to get a little chip damage, but it does look like BBB is taking the vault and just kind of running away. Maybe trying to get to a new position so that they can kind of get out of that line of fire. But I can't tell. They might have left the vault.
They've been caught here, and they have left the vault behind. Or no, they've thrown it, in fact, it seems. They're just looking to engage close, it seems. Get towards this church, encroach on the position that Ape Squad have decided to hunker down on. And now Ape Squad have lost contact. They don't know where BBB are coming from exactly.
And I do just want to note that it looks like the variation that we got on this map is just foggy. So it's pretty much a standard issue map with just a little bit less visibility. So we've got the cathedral in play and everything else. So this should be a pretty good matchup on Monaco, minus just a little bit less visibility for both teams.
That it should be. BBB in pink here, just taking a bit of damage, but this is a nice zip. This gives them the option of repositioning at a moment's notice before BBB pop up. It looks like they do want to move this cash out box now, circling around. B is, it looks like the tunnels objective, so they might be keen on doing that. The zip comes up. This looks like it will be well hidden. And now, here we go, Ape Squad will have a look. They're going to go straight across the zip, but the mesh shield doesn't hold, and Belize takes all that damage quite easily. Soaks it up for his teammate, a sacrificial lamb. Krust and Maserati do get their kills, and they're chasing now, trying to get this defib, but it looks as though they're still up against 3 on their side. Oh, no, in fact, Rippy and Spoon's the last alive here on Ape Squad. They have lost their heavy of Sonsoyo, and now the burst damage is there. Everyone on the side of BBB so heavily lit, but Ape Squad now left with only Rippy alive. He's hiding, he's holding his nerve, holding his position, and it looks as though BBB, through patience alone, have come out on top, but Ape Squad can reconnect here with the respawns.
Yeah, and Rippy's in a great position because he was able to buy his team just a little bit of time. Now he seems to be rushing in. Okay, he didn't go directly for that. Smart move. Wanted to hop down, get his team closer, and then start pushing in again. We see them set up on top of the roof, throws the barricade down, but they're a good distance away from that cash out station, so they're going to have to kind of push in, or otherwise they're going to risk just watching the clock tick down.
And here we see this classic setup going on underneath. This is something you should all use. You should all be using in your cash out games, your quick cash games, whatever it might be. Just create a maze, a labyrinth inside the building that your opponents don't know what to deal with until they're in the thick of it and taking shots from you. You have the advantage of defense in this situation. It looks as though they're going long. They're actually evacuating the building itself and looking to play for a retake.
Yeah, and being a floor below lets you drop it as well. So it gives them kind of an additional time if the cash out if the cash out starts getting stolen. So it does look like Spoons and Rippy went down just now, and Sonia just had to run away and basically concede this point for now. I don't know if when his teammates respawn, if he'll have enough time, and he's actually being hunted.
And he doesn't make the jump either. He's being hunted down by the singular medium, but now his teammates come to join him, and there we have it. Is that a pistol? Are we running pistol on this map now?
No, I think
that was the shotgun. Sorry,
yeah.
I thought that was Crust for a second, and that's what threw me. I knew Maserati was on the 1887, but we have seen Crust with an AR of some description, haven't we, so far? So, sticking to what they know.
Yep, and basically by hunting him down, BBB was able to get the team wipe and pretty much secure this cash out station for them, because by the time they respawn and get close, it just they won't have a chance. And like we're now in the last 5 seconds, but they are still moving in, so they might be trying to go for another team wipe just to get that advantage over the next vault.
Yeah, they have to be able to choose.
Away.
No, they're going to be. This is an interesting play as well, because I would say of all these situations, of all the positions, they want to get beaten. No, they're just racing to the vault. That's what they want to do. They want to control this game and put the vault where they need it. The immediate zip comes through, and it looks like we're going to get a team fighter right now. Belize doesn't take nearly as much damage as he did last time. In fact, he's completely healthy as he sends warning shots down the way of Sonsoyo and Rippy, who make it into cover. And in fact, it's BBB who come off worse in this situation. Maybe a little bit overzealous in their engagement, but they are still in the fight. They've backed away a little bit. Belize goes down, and that's the first casualty proper of this fight. It should be an opportunity to get the res, though. We see both of the mediums scarping around, throwing out some goo. They do get the defib, and they'll be able to heal him right back up to go for another try.
Yeah, this is an amazing team fight right now because both teams are just losing one teammate, getting the res, and really just kind of falling all over the map. Jump pads, zip lines, everything. Trying to bring the fight up to the top, but occasionally you see the fighting happening inside the building.
Belize had a rough time there. He got defibbed, jumped back up, and instantly bursted down by the whole of Ape Squad. They're very solid focus fire. They've improved on that during the course of last game. I think they noted it was something they could improve on, and now they are really hammering it home. But Spoons does go down. Rippy on a sliver of HP, but he's safe for the time being. Meanwhile, the vault has been tapped, and they're looking to engage on this 2 versus 2.
Yeah, and we see the fight going down now between
Oh, he's got the flank on them. No.
Ooh, look at that. Smart gameplay.
That was a very, very close attempt there. They had the flank, but I thought that that BBB had no idea that was happening, but it seems they caught out the player that was lurking around construction very nicely. And now, the first clean fight end in this entire game, in fact. We haven't seen, like... I feel like we've barely seen any wipes. We saw maybe one on the first cash out, and now we finally get another one.
Well, what's interesting is that there's a lot of fighting happening over the vaults. Like, normally in the last split, there was more fighting, more focus on the cash out. Like, you could concede the vault for a little bit. But no, both teams are really just kind of aggressive. They're like two dogs fighting over a stake. They want to win. They want to walk away and, get that vault and take the advantage. Especially on this map where you can set up.
It's not just a case of defense versus attack on this map. You've got one team running those close range weapons. You really want to be able to control where those engagements happen. Taking the vault is the best way to do that. Rippy last alive on his side, but he will get the defib off. Not really much time to heal him up as there is a lot of heat around him, but he will do so as it seems that heat has evaporated, has dissipated. Will fall back. Spoons is going to get that coin in a few seconds, but they do not have too much time to re-engage here. They've probably got maybe one attempt after this to try and take one down, and the vertical positions established by BBB, I don't even know if they know about these. They will now with that zip visible.
Yeah, BBB is in ultimate position right now. They can hop down. They've got great visibility over
that
the
jump
wall,
as
over the
well.
cash out. Oh yeah, that'll get him right up there. Oh, they moved it. He might be resetting it. Yep, there it goes. He wanted a little bit more, I guess, angle to it. And yeah, we see Ape Squad trying to push in, but they definitely are on the low ground and BBB on the high ground. One person is on top of the crane right now.
Oh, do they know?
And it's a little out of position. Maybe he was just trying to get up, trying to find a pop shot, but yeah, it looks like Sonia hops down. But the cash out is ticking down. We're almost into the last quarter of it, and they need to kind of dive on and try and steal. We do see the dome shield going up. Immediately gets taken down. BBB knows when to push in, and they have. And they get spoons down. Rippy is on 12 health, and he gets wiped as well. And I think that that's going to be it. The first map will go to BBB.
That will do it, like you say. And a little victory lap here for BBB. Some excellent play. I did say Monaco was their playground. They have thankfully proven me right here.
Yeah, really smart game today. And I think one thing to highlight is that BBB was always on the high ground. And they made it where that Ape Squad just had to fight through the lower part. And even my favorite fight that we saw was when both teams were on top of the cathedral and they were on each side of it because they had forced their way up, and really just that clash that was happening on each side of it. Just fun to see. Surprisingly, that Ape Squad wasn't able to kind of pick it up and go with it. BBB got a clean 2-0 on that map, but we still have 2 more maps, and the possibility of them coming back is definitely here.
And we're going to Skyway as well, an interesting one, because Ape Squad have picked this into BBB despite losing on it earlier to this side without a single cash out. So Ape Squad have decided, no, we're going to run it back. We can do better than that. And they've got to put their money where their mouth is, because otherwise they're going out here in 2-0 fashion and conceding that first place spot in the first qualifier to BBB, who so far have been near flawless, right? They've only lost that one map of Cis Horizons so far today, and indeed in the entire qualifier, to Ape Squad earlier. So we've seen that Belize & Co can bleed, but is it enough for Ape Squad to cling on to at the moment?
Yeah. And I think that one thing that BBB does really well is that they can spread out on the map and they get a little bit of distance, but as soon as they need to kind of come together, you see them like coordinated come in, swarm each angle, and it just makes it where like it's a pinch move, and the Ape Squad just isn't able to kind of get out of there without losing 1 or 2 people, if not the entire team. So it's interesting to watch these tactics, because I think BBB is playing at the top of the game right now with what they have, but that isn't to discount what Ape Squad has been doing, because they still have a lot of great tactics, and they are able to put up a lot of fighting against the BBB roster. And I think I think that both teams have earned their place in these final matches today.
What's really interesting to see is how impressive BBB have been. These are players that are ranked quite highly in ranked and in World Tour and places, and quite often in games in esports, there's a divide between how a game is played at the highest level in ranked and how it translates into a competitive scene. We're not seeing that here, right? We're seeing the strats that you see at the top level of ranked duplicated in these tournaments and succeeding. And it just goes to show how, especially this season, right? This feels like a very well-balanced season, really well-tuned season in terms of just like the core balance of the classes and the weapons and the loadouts and everything just feels really nice. We've seen some variety even within the top 4 just to prove that. And yeah, it's the kind of thing where these are players that you might encounter on your way up. Especially, I've had the displeasure of having to queue against the top 3 players at one point, and it was just like,
oh really? I've
got no chance against them. What am I going to do? 29. I can't aim like that. But like it's good to see, because it proves that it's attainable. This is something that you can work hard to achieve, and if you're in a decent stack that fancies a fun bit of tournament play on the weekends, or maybe even a little bit of a sniff of surprise money at the end of it all, then definitely sign up for everything you can, right? Sign up for this, sign up for that. Just do it all. It's incredible fun, and it just gets you so much cool experience and fun with the community.
Yep, I think that you said that really perfectly, because the,
thank
the
you.
plays that we're seeing, yeah, no, really, it's what this community and what this scene is all about, is the fact that like we do have these top tier players, but at the same time, like we have people that are not in the top that are still fighting in their way up to the top,
True.
and showing that like anybody can do this. And I think that's what's just so exciting about this game, is that yeah, it's not just about aim, it's not just about, you know, playing around the objective, it's about team play, it's about, you know, deciding the you know, the balance between when to heal, when to, you know, go into an engagement, and there's just so many little, like, lots of layers of nuance to it that just make it so exciting and so refreshing. And I don't know about you, but I have over 300 hours in this game, unashamedly.
Ooh, let's check.
I
Open
I
Steam.
have loved, yeah, I have loved every moment of it because it's just a fresh game. But here we go into Skyway Stadium, running in. We've seen this multiple times today, and against BBB and Ape Squad, I don't know who's going to go away with this. I'm still rooting for Ape Squad because I think that they can do this.
Okay.
I've seen what they can do.
All right, I'm going to stick with BBB. I think it's great. You know, it's not just a desk analyst cliche that we're on opposite sides. We're genuinely believing this, which is cool. Let's see. What is my my magic number? 329.
Ooh, yeah, we just beat. Good job.
There we go. Caster does actually play the game.
Oh yeah.
Unreal.
All right, and here we go into it. Both teams are spawned a good distance away, and we see Spoon setting up. Here he goes with that good damage. You see that hit marker hit, so he got a headshot from that far away. And really, just look at that. From the entire mag, he's getting like 70% of the shots from that distance. That's impressive. And we see Blaze is needing to heal from his teammates, Maserati, just kind of getting set up. They're a little bit spread out, which is shocking at this point. I would expect Blaze to kind of be playing more with his team, and he does get pushed. But he's holding off well for right now.
Again, they're just trying to bait the engagements to their favoured territory, right? You see them inside these buildings. They want those shotguns to come good. And Ape Squad are having none of it. They're keeping their distance. They're trying to take the shots where they can. But, you know, because it's a lack of burst, they're always going to struggle, right? These triple ARs, you've got to get the focus fire down. Otherwise, you're never bursting people down quick enough. Here comes the engage. Jump into the RPG, as is tradition. Finds the first frag against one of the players of Ape Squad, and looks like he will secure the second with assistance. Sonsoyo goes down. Excellent push, and that is a team wipe, a clean wipe, to open things up for BBB.
Yeah, wow, what an amazing push by Belize. And that rocket hit, I think, 2 people right away and chipped away a lot of their health.
Money rocket.
So, yeah, money rocket for sure. And it lets them get in control of this vault. And BBB is in a great position to get started on this map. And I think they're going to go for cash out A. And it does look like Ape Squad has already had a chance to respawn. So they will be pretty close.
Yeah.
Maybe not. They're actually a good distance away. Look at them hopping around. So they're going to be maybe a quarter away into this cash out before they can even get there to engage.
That choice of site definitely based on proximity rather than position, because it's, you know, be so far away and they just want to get it in as soon as possible. Both pretty decent setups for their kind of loadouts as well, and this is why I'm surprised that Ape Squad decided to take it to Skyway and not somewhere like Vegas immediately. But we will get there if Ape Squad can force their way through this map. We do have Vegas at the very end. We have BBB hunkered down inside a bunker at the back of this construction building. Picking up that glitch barrel, just expecting glitch barrels give you a little bit of intel. Oh no, that's a bit of a blunder there. The explosion,
yeah. Very
unfortunate timing. The RPG triggers the glitch barrel in hand. Luckily, no capitalization here from Ape Squad, and they will be able to regroup. The fight comes through, and the shield is not effective enough. The heal is there, but Spoons goes down. Sonsoyo is next, and now only Rippy against the 3 of them. Once again, a clean wipe for Ape Squad, and he ascends to his people.
Yeah, well, and I don't know if you caught that, but Rippy's health healing beam actually overheated. So he was doing so much healing damage that he just couldn't get it going, and he had to switch over to AK. So his teammates just kind of got torn down. We see the scoreboard up right now. We see Blaze's 1 kill. Wow, the 1, 2, 3 from PBB, and only 1 kill from Rippy on Ape Squad. So. Yeah, we're getting ready for another engagement. Ape Squad has one good push in them. They do drop it. They throw the dome shield up. You see Rippy going for the steal.
Oh no, he didn't drop it.
I think he has. Oh, they dropped it again. And
they don't get the steal, unfortunately. No, they don't get the steal. They were trying to drop it with the RPG. They will try and get the kills here, but it's all for naught as that cash out is secured for BBB as things turn out, and there is a kill working out for Spoons. Rippy res, but doesn't matter that. In fact, they're not even wipes. No, we still have a full team up for BBB. They're chasing them down, and BBB. Wow, this is just dominance personified.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, Ape Squad had that. I thought they had the steal. Then the floor blew up from underneath them. It made them lose it. But just smart plays from BBB. They're able to kind of counter anything that Ape Squad is doing to set them up. So shocking. And maybe not that surprising, but real cool to see BBB just kind of at the top of their game for right now.
They absolutely are, and this vault dead midway between B and C here, so an option to head to that high-rise building in the far corner, or to come a bit closer and play in the apartments. We've got that option, certainly. And the engagement begins as we hear some shots play out in the distance from this rooftop. Unfortunately, seems to be stuck on the scoreboard. There we go. Fix. Oh, here you have it. Interesting play.
Yeah, they did just throw that to them,
giving them a problem to think of.
Thinking. Yeah.
They're just playing around the decision paralysis here and trying to make them think too much about what do we do? Do we grab the box? What do we do? But at the moment, it's working out in Ape Squad's favour for whatever reason. And BBB, I'm a little confused. Gotta say, what was that about?
I think it was to confuse them because, you're like, hey, let's push for this vault, and then it gets thrown right at you. It would definitely make me, hesitate for just a second. And as you can see, it did go in the favor of BBB because they were able to kind of get it and go. Smart gameplay, maybe accidental, who knows? Fun to watch, but the cash out C is getting started. We see the C4 getting thrown down, so they have every opportunity to drop it down to the next floor. As Ape Squad kind of gets set up, we see them breaking all the zip lines, which is really smart. You want to stop any easy way for them to get in there, and Blaze does have all the time. He's getting chopped down, I think, from Spoon, and we do see Ape Squad starting to push in, getting some good damage done, but I don't think any of it's really impactful yet.
No, again, it's still just chip damage from distance. Belize is holding that position for now. Ape Squad are assaulting, as I get my teams completely mixed up, it would seem. Don't let this distract you from the fact that BBB are now only one cash out away from total victory here. And
not just one cash out, but about 20 seconds away.
Yeah, exactly. This is basically it. They've spot the C4 underneath and they let it go down, baiting that. Very nicely done, but it does still pose a problem because they have to re-engage a floor below. In fact, they're 2 floors below here as there isn't a balcony for them to latch onto. Trying to find an opening, but they're just met with a hail of flurry of bullets and flames and everything. All the chaos rains upon them and they're getting the defibs off, but do they have the wherewithal? Again, he has to fall off of that heel beam and does secure. Oh, doesn't quite get the second. Defib comes out onto the heavy, but surely this is enough. Belize will be melted and the steel can come through. Now they just have to defend it for maybe one take to stay in this, or BBB could rescue this round immediately with a final last gasp steal on this second cash out.
Yeah, I don't think BB has any time. I think that this is going to go to Ape Squad, this one. But it makes it more exciting because that means that we do get one more cash out going on.
Oh, yeah, not with that spawn.
Far away.
No chance.
So this is good. Yeah.
Well, okay, so we'll go down to the final cash out on Skyway. It has to go Ape Squad's way if we're going to see Vegas. They have to get this next one. BBB be given an extra chance here to go for this final cash out. Let's see where that vault appears. Looks like it's quite nearby. It looks like BBB will make it first, but it's not going to be active for another few seconds here.
Yeah, they are all right on top of that and forcing Ape Squad to kind of go around. But it does look like they might be getting set up on this roof here. Yeah, they're breaking everything so that they can get set up. So as soon as BBB runs out with that vault, they will be able to get some attempt at chip damage. We'll have to see. Yeah, and here we go. BBB has now jumped to the roof. Ooh, there was a good RPG that went off. It took away a lot of health off of BBB's team. And look at this. Spoons gets a great kill on Crust, but he's the only team member up for Ape Squad, and he goes down. So even though they were able to do a lot of damage,
we really didn't see how those 1v1s played out there, but it felt as though realistically Ape Squad they initiated, they did most of the entry damage there, but I feel like that's just where that burst damage comes into play on BBB. You engage at that close range with those shotguns up against you, up in your face, and you're always running the risk that you can be taken down in an instant, and that's kind of what happened there, it seems. Even though Rippy was able to survive and get his kills, wasn't enough.
And look for a second at the support score for BBB. They're really above the Ape Squads in nearly every category. So on paper, this is definitely BBB's game, but Ape Squad has able to kind of come in there and get at least one cash out. So it's not over yet, but they definitely have a little bit of a battle ahead of them.
Alright, so sniping across from the opposite side of the hospital here are Ape Squad. They have to contest this, of course. Maybe 2 chances to steal this, by my guessing. Playing on opposite elevators, in fact, using that hard cover to their advantage. There is a zip connecting them at the moment. Surely you don't take the bait. There's the jump pad. Slightly safer approach method, as we were saying, but he does clap it. Oh, unfortunate there. He said all the way back down. Has to spend his jump pad to reconnect with his team, not wasting too much time. Here comes the engagement. Both teams are jumping on in, and it's going to be chaos right here. Belize tries to secure his kill. He does find his man, Sonsoyu, down for the count, and it looks as though the rest of his squad have done pretty well as well. Trust and Maserati both still up. They secure the second, and did they spot that guy? Yep, they do. They're chasing him. Fantastic. They were toying with him, just waiting for a moment. It looks as though that is a successful team wipe. No, still a player. Nope, that is, yeah. It's so frustrating having to spectate Pink, you know? Like,
yeah.
It just throws me.
No, and I think that that's what they were doing. They didn't want to kill him immediately because they knew that if they kind of draw this out, it gives them just that much more advantage. And now it does look like BBB has it with just a quarter left on this final cash out. And I think that it's smart gameplay. They were maybe like toying with it a little bit, and I'm sure that the mind games are really intense. Oh, and Ape Squad does have one chance to get on this, but they're going to have to dive in there, throw a dome shield, and try and get it. We do see the jump pad going in, trying to get the aerial damage on them. The APS turret.
They need some immediate picks here. The gas is going to cause problems, but they cannot find it. They know that they're playing below, and they know what the play is from BBB. They have to walk right into the trap. There's no chance, surely. Timer expired, and it's a wipe for BBB as well. To rub salt into the wounds of Ape Squad, and there's Belize cleaning up the mess, sweeping aside the competition for his first victory. And BBB's first victory in the Master Series Split 2 Qualifier 1. Congratulations to BBB.
Yeah, absolute supreme gameplay from BBB, and I'm not sure if he caught it at the end, but when the cash out dropped at the very end, it went through 2 floors at the bottom, so they didn't even have a chance to jump on it because it just fell and then fell again. And I just smart gameplay. They were definitely playing on the floor below, like you were saying, and Ape Squad knew it, and it just gave them that moment of pause, that moment of hesitation that I think in the end kind of messed with them. Amazing gameplay from Ape Squad. I think that you guys fought your hardest. I think that you guys have a lot of promise. I think that you did just unfortunately going up against BBB with Belize, Crust, Mouse, just some of these players that are at the very top of the game. So I think that if you guys stuck around, watched these matches today, those were just some of the top tier players, and you can see the reason.
They truly were. And just to sort of hype up BBB a little bit more, they went through this entire qualifier only losing a single map, and that was Sis Horizon earlier to Ape Squad. So you got to give Ape Squad some credit here for pushing BBB as far as they have. But what a day, what incredible gameplay we've seen today. I got to see a light in comp. I'm more than ecstatic about that. And you know, some great plays from Alphonse earlier on. That was a nice little highlight for me to see, to justify my picking Bow in every single like ranked and World Tour game at the moment. I'm obsessed with that Bow right now. Yeah,
maybe one day we'll see the Bow in a tournament like this, because I think that it has viability.
It's great.
So any players listening, you know, go Bow. You'll make us happy. But with that today, I think that we are going to move on to our one-shot MVP. So hopefully you guys voted, and we will see the results here shortly.
Surely there's only one answer. Oh, interesting. Alphonse takes it. That was the light player on the first map for NTHX. So very big congratulations to Alphonse. It was great to see. Like I was saying, you know, some excellent light play throughout the tournament. Unfortunately, you know, you might argue that he was, you know, they came fourth, what have you. We're talking about the best, most influential player on a team, and you can maybe make the argument that a lot of the other teams, it felt like a massive team effort, but there were fights. There were fights. We saw Alphonse swing with a single well-placed glitch grenade, and that would do it. And then following up with some excellent kills on the AH1. So yeah, I think well deserved.
I think so as well. And Alphonse, enjoy the package sent by One Shot. Yeah, let us know how it is. And thank you all for voting in the Twitter poll. So Alphonse, enjoy it. You definitely earned it. And thank you for being our light player today. That was fun to watch.
Yeah, it was. Do it again, please. It's very fun to watch. So that is our one-shot MVP. Do we have, though, a grand final MVP? A little bit of something extra for the victors of this tournament. Belize, of course, your heavy main for BBB, content creator supreme, streamer supreme, whatever you want to call him. Goo Ship Innovator? I don't think he was the one who made it. He's definitely done a lot of them on his stream. Either way, whatever.
Popularized it.
Yeah, popularized it, and has stormed his way to victory in this tournament. So congratulations to Belize and the rest of BBB. Crust and Mouse.
Yeah.
Very well played.
Belize, definitely you earned this. It was fun to watch. You have some amazing gameplay, and I think that yeah, you definitely will enjoy the one-shot package being sent to you as well. So congratulations, thanks for the amazing game, and I think that what's cool is that in this tournament series you will be able to inspire and kind of show more casual players like us how you can do it. I think heavy is a really hard role to do, and as long as you have two good supporting teammates, I think that it's really viable. So everybody that was watching, I think, got a great lesson and a great kind of more understanding of the game. And I'm sure that for the next week, when I log on to my matches, there will be some influence spread throughout that. So amazing games today. I had a lot of fun. And Jerry, what about you? Did you enjoy everything we watched today?
I had an absolute blast. It was a great privilege to be here. I'm really happy to have finally got my first finals cast under my belt. I was quite nervous about the day, all things told. You know, following the game can be a little bit chaotic and difficult at times, but it will only improve with time as I practice and as we get better spectator stalls. We've still got things to come, though. We've got to talk about not just what this all means for the grand sense of what's going on here at Breakout, and also we've got a little bit of some stats to delve into today. So our pick rates, picks and bans of various maps throughout today's tournament.
Yeah, so it looks like Skyway Stadium was the most picked within this first bracket. So 31 times picked, banned 5 times with a rate of 28. Followed up by Seoul with a pick rate of 21%. And Vegas kind of in the middle with 18. And Monaco and Sis Horizon both at 15% at the end. I'm shocked to see this because last time it was Sis Horizon, then Vegas, then Skyway Stadium, and Seoul was always like banned. It was always one of the lowest pick maps. So interesting to see what has changed. Maybe it's just the meta has changed a little bit, and more people are just wanting to try something a little bit differently. Yeah, Seoul, Skyway Stadium, I'm really surprised. Mostly surprised by that Sis Horizon is dead last, tied with Monaco.
Yeah, it's a big swing from last time round. I think it had a lot of novelty in the last series. Maybe it's just an anomaly. Maybe for the rest of the qualifiers, we'll see a bit more Sis Horizon. And speaking of the rest of the qualifiers, if you're interested in getting in, it's not too late. Just because you've missed qualifier number 1, you can get in on the ground at number 2. There's also the 3rd one and the 4th one, and you accumulate points throughout these qualifiers. So we've just seen BBB come first in today's qualifier. That gives them 75 points in the leaderboard, propelling them to the top, and eventually, after all 4 qualifiers are done, we'll have a nice leaderboard and a top 8 that make it through to the Masters event at the end of August. Come September 1st, we'll have a victor for the entire Split 2. So get signing up, get around it, get amongst it, as one of my old friends likes to say, and just get in there, get going, because it's a great, fun place to, you know, just swing and get some comp experience.
Absolutely, and it's fun to be a part of any tournament. And if you do make it into the day 2, you have a chance of getting your games casted by us. So I think that should be exciting for anybody. And
we hope that's exciting.
Yeah,
we hope that's just reward. Or
Yeah.
you know, we get to embarrass you on stream. You can see it that way. So make sure you go out in first day. Don't get through to day 2. You don't want that. You can still get points by wiping out in day 2, right? Mm-hmm. There's points all the way down to 8th place. In fact, lower than that, 16th. You get points for basically competing. So
yep, absolutely.
Yeah, just do it.
So any team in here, we will definitely see most likely in the second round. So everybody that's been watching, please come back, watch us again. And any final thoughts of today? Did you have a favorite moment? Anything that you saw? Anything that you just want to kind of wrap up today's stream with? Anything? Yeah, anything come to mind?
I don't think there are single plays that stand out, but I don't want to pick a single one. I think there was just such a variety of joy and pleasure and experience on offer and skill and really close nail-biting moments that I can't single out a single one. I just want to congratulate BBB again and say thank you very much for giving us such a good game, and to all the teams that competed today.
Yep. Thank you, guys. My favorite memory or moment for today, really just kind of seeing the game from a different point of view. When we got the overhead shots and seeing, I think it was BBB and Ape Squad, especially on Monaco, when we could just see them raining down bullets onto the other team. And I think that was just cool because you see the coordination, you see the team play, you see both teams trying to fight either from the high ground or the low ground. And just it's interesting, a nice perspective, a nice way to kind of view the game and just kind of how it develops and how it changes. And just I'm very excited, and I'm going to go back and watch several of these matches again just to learn more about these teams that we had playing today. So with that, thank you guys for everybody watching. Thank you to our sponsor, One Shot Energy. All of the players that got the MVP, enjoy your package. And the rest of you, we will see you later. My name is Rio. This is Jerry, and we will catch you around. Bye.
Yeah. They hate when you elevate. You're stacking up losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly, I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. Yeah. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Yeah. I had to elevate. I'm way too fly. Yeah, I'm feeling myself. Ain't no chance I'm coming down, no. Got this whole view to myself. Yeah, why would I give it up? Why do they wanna come take my place? I work too hard for it, don't need a replacement. This my vocation. Now I got rollies all in rotation. Hop on the jet just to take a vacation. Remember the moments was trapped in the basement. Now the hard work is all taking me places. Squatting on bed like we trapped in the matrix. Bet on myself and go ball out in Vegas. Living a life like I'm rich and I'm famous. Don't see the grind that I know that it came with. I ain't make it this far for myself. I had to prove to everybody else. I had to set them straight. I had to boss. I had to renovate. I know they hate when you elevate. You're stacking up losses, I'm handing them out. Yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment. I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly. I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. Yeah. They hate when you elevate. Elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate. Yeah. I had to elevate. Ooh, yeah. Why they wanna bring me down? So much drip, yeah, I almost drowned in it. I can't dim it down. Yeah, I'm way too fired up. I can't simmer down. Ooh, yeah. I see the flashing lights. Make sure the flashing right. Yeah. I'm in my bag tonight. Yeah. Ooh, I might just pull up before it. Watch out, the engine is roaring. It's too loud, you can ignore it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm way too cold.
Hey, I'm a problem when I'm on top like this. This my designer flow. Hey, gotta keep my fur coat close, cause I'm a boss and I'm way too close. I don't really wanna come ask me why I gotta act like this. Tell them that my pockets too swollen, they already know I'm a flex with a bag like this. Like, I'm at the top and that's literal. I'm making money, it's digital. They watch how I step in this pivotal. They wanna be me and it's pitiful. I cannot be no one else and I'm flexing, I'm glad to be me. There's no angle they can come for me, boy, I'm 0 degrees. Way too cold.
You can't manage this, can't break this, boy, I'm funded. Gotta keep my distance when you not 100. Those the same ones say they loyal, they funny. You can't match my energy, and yeah, you know it. Way too cold. Yeah, man, I'm way too cold. Way too cold. Yeah, man, I'm way too cold. Way too cold. Yeah, man, I'm way too cold. Yes, I meant it. Yeah, man, I'm way too cold.
Yeah, I'm killing it, I'm the realest. Ain't gotta say, gotta know you feel it. My flow got a cold as sick as the illest. I know that I'm great and they about to witness me going in. I went way up, about to go again. You see me on the telly, then you tell a friend. Cause you know I'm about to rain, it'll never end. Cause I got big dreams, big goals, never settle, gotta keep on going now. You say you got it, and I Red Bull, I got the wings and I ain't coming down. No. Ooh, I keep it straight, every line is so intentional. This is your moment to let it go. You know that I'm into them way too cold. Too cold.
You can't manage this, can't break this, boy, I'm funded. Gotta keep my distance when you not 100. Those the same ones say they loyal, they funny. You can't match my energy, and yeah, you know it. Way too cold. Yeah, man, I'm way too cold. Way too cold. Yeah, man, I'm way too cold. Way too cold. Yeah, man, I'm way too cold. Yes, I meant it. Yeah, man, I'm way too cold.
You know, sometimes this life can get rough. You get knocked down, but you gotta get up. Keep going. I'd have been knocked down 1,000 times, yeah, I traveled around 1,000 miles, feeling so tired, but you know I can't stop now. Came way too far, won't throw in the towel. It ain't looking real good, but I won't give up. Pac said that I gotta keep my head up, so I ain't going nowhere. Yeah, I'm standing right here. Demons all around, but I ain't got no fear. You can kick me down, but I won't stay down. I run this town, ain't backing down. We going the rounds. Yeah, the winds will blow, but these roots too deep. I'm on my feet, the underdog, and I won't be beat. In the fire now, but I won't be burned. I was waiting for this, and now it's my turn. Sweat on my face, blood in my eyes. Been underground, now I aim for the sky. Don't quit now, you can last longer. All these wounds only making you stronger. Don't give up now, yeah, you gotta climb. But we give it to all until the end, until the end of time. We ain't going nowhere. We'll be standing right here until the end of time. Till the end of time. We ain't going nowhere. We'll be standing right here until the end of time. Till the end of time. Until the end of time. Till the end of time. Yeah. Been through a whole lot, but we overcome. Enemies in our face, but we ain't gon' run. Never drift off course, always stay on mission. Won't slow us down, cause we way too driven. Yeah, we put in these 10,000 hours. You won't stop us, cause we got the power. Whole world is watching, and I hope they ready. From here on out, we are legendary. You can kick me round, but I won't stay down. I run this town, ain't backing down. We going in rounds. Yeah, the winds will blow, but these roots too deep. I'm on my feet, the underdog, and I won't be beat. Turn the lights up now, welcome to the show. I ain't never gonna stop, this is all I know. My eyes on the prize, until I die. I'm gonna rise, level up to the skies. Yeah, we here now, we were chosen. All the pain brought us to this moment. Watch everything we work for fall in line. We gon' give it our all until the end of time. We ain't going nowhere. We'll be standing right here until the end of time. Till the end of time. We ain't going nowhere. We'll be standing right here until the end of time. Till the end of time. Until the end of time. Till the end of time.
down, they just think they are. Another little wannabe gangster trying to play hard. Ding down, they just think they are. Another little wannabe gangster trying to play hard. Free up the guys and dip out the ends. Jump in the ride and burn out the rims. Don't stop, don't coach, the boy I'm in. Never in the block, hoodie up for events. Skin kept close, cause you plotting on them with the tips on 10. Batch in the back that's on tap, all ready to go and jump in. Ding down, they just think they are. Another little wannabe gangster trying to play hard. Ding down, they just think they are. Another little wannabe gangster trying to play hard. Ding down, 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 ding.